Like, I don't know, we could start yapping, and I'll be back to my computer in like 5 minutes.
Wait, what?
I'm walking back to my hotel room right now, so like I'm present, but I'm not in Foundry.
Okay, that's fine. You probably are not going to need to be there for like at least at first. So let's just jump right into it then, fellas.
I wanted to text you something earlier today, and I completely and absolutely forgot while wearing that furry hat.
Yep. Yes, our primal animal urges will do that to us.
I
Make
got
us
a little
forget civilized
sidetracked.
thoughts.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I got a little sidetracked with that shit on.
Okay, is it something urgent before we begin session?
Not really urgent. I just wanted to give you a little heads up on something I wanted to do. But I think I can text you real quick right now.
Okay. Waiting. Holding.
Imagine I'm
Making
texting the wrong person.
Making more Rallas.
Yes, he cast Simulacrum on Rala 5 times.
I just found an art style that I really liked for Rala. I think I showed it to Idol.
At least one ones.
I think it might have been the last two ones. The last two ones were very 3D though. I kind of wanted these a little bit more, line arty. I need to like consistently look up whenever I'm making Rala. I always look at the height chart because I have to remember how short she is.
Right. With that, we're going to just jump right into it. We are currently at the main hall of the other side, a tavern on the eastern part of Great Helm, the place where you guys had met other civilian members of the specially formed unit. The tavern would usually have some patrons around, although it is by now a very late hour of night, which you may actually argue it's so late that it's actually very early.
Wait, we got to it the place already?
Chill out. Let me finish.
Oh, okay.
The tavern would normally be occupied or closing for business if all of the patrons are gone, but currently all of the normal people have been ushered out. The tavern is closed, and the tables have all been pushed aside for a gathering of people, some of them standing, some of them standing up, some of them sitting, some of them standing up, who are having what to any outsider would probably already look like a secret meeting or some sort of secret society, and we just had someone drop. Kevin dropped. Well, I'm sure he'll be back. He is back. Around this tavern hall are Mr. Beowulf Gundyr, a dwarven, sort of like middle-aged dwarven priest of a religion that has fallen out of fashion in the city. Mr. Berthoven Grishaw, also known as Bart, the Hioran owner of a general store, sitting somewhat restlessly against his chair. Miss Helen Olga von Lumhardt, very elegantly sitting on a different chair, the owner of a prestigious jewelry store that you guys have been to. Right beside her, standing up, not oddly, but in a rare moment of sobriety, is Mr. Victor Four Fingers, bum that you guys have interacted with in the past, but he seems grumpy, but at attention. And nearer to the light, standing up, is Sister Catherine Zorkov, the priestess of Hastia from the temple, with a bit of a concerned look on her face, and standing beside as a sort of aide, in an aide-like fashion, more specifically to the Lady Commander Lucina Windranen, who is just finishing her report to the Great Helm Special Civilian Unit, also known as Graysku, on the events that everyone has witnessed on this night. How you went to the invite-only ball, performed some investigations before ascertaining that the vampire called Penelope had been somewhat unwittingly charming several of the city folk, and all of them were under her thrall. You eventually battled with her and some of her most powerful suitors, and upon her surrender and requests for aid to the ones that were helping her, and Lucina ascertaining that she had no hostile intention, you emerge victorious. And Lucina doesn't mince any words in thereafter describing how you all intended on replacing her eyes or doing further steps to restrain her ability to do harm while she was unconscious, beside the blindfold and silver manacles, silver handcuffs that were already placed on her. The members of the civilian unit, all not very used to such tales, and having been appraised of happenings and things that you were doing, but never in this level of detail, seem all to be sort of taking it all in, so there are no immediate reactions. Although, just off the cuff, you can see two of them having some sort of reaction to that final part about your intentions regarding Penelope. The owner of the general store, Bart, seems to shake his head in approval, vertically, seeming to concur that neutralizing her as far as possible should be a good idea, while you catch Sister Catherine, ever by Lucina's side when you see her, looks at you with, it's faint, it's slight, but there is an expression of reproach and disapproval on her demeanor. But before we continue with the rest of that conversation, as she finishes her debriefing, we need to clarify who all is in the room with us.
Yeah, I was
Mr.
gonna say we might want to backtrack a little bit to where we found out that Rolla's friend is a demon.
We are going to. It was just a stylistic choice from me to begin the session like this. You guys need to chill sometime. Mr. Noah Westergaard, you had not left the premises with the rest of the party. Would you be joining them at the other side on a different, at a later date, or do you simply go elsewhere?
A later date for sure. But not
a
later
later moment.
today.
Yes.
Yeah, not later today. I would like to do something different. I don't know how long that would take. And yeah, So that. I don't know if I'm being prompted to do that other thing now.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Where are you headed after the mansion?
I wish to head. Well, I had teleported out of the room, and there was a moment where another hand had appeared next to mine as I snapped my fingers to leave. Was that a description for me out of character, or is that something that in character Noah would have witnessed too?
If the shadow that has been mimicking your spells in other moments was also visible to you, then this hand would also be visible to you.
Okay, perfect. So with that having happened, I'm going to keep it cool. I'm not going to freak out because it doesn't serve any purpose. Instead, I wish to make my way to the library. How late is it right now, actually? Maybe it's not even
Very.
open.
You have always like sort of precise notion of what time of day it is, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Right
like,
now,
as precise as possible during those times now.
yes. Right now it is 2 hours and 48 minutes.
Oh, like in the morning.
Yes.
Okay. Do I know where Bobina lives?
You would be aware. She has
Okay.
she rents a place not too far from the library.
Okay. I would like to meander over there.
Okay.
And upon getting there, I assume it'll be. I mean, I'll leave that to you.
Well, do you mean like time-wise?
No, like, what's the vibe? I assume it's like quiet, obviously lights off, nothing happening.
Yes, lights off. It is very late in the day, and today is where are my plot notes here? Well, last night was a Sunday, so right now it's Monday, like very very early in Monday. So even people who were out partying are by now returning home because it's a Monday and they gotta work.
Sure.
So pretty empty streets, and Bobina's house is no different. It's this simple place, 2-story house of simple cobblestone with wood. Not poor, but not lavish either.
I'd like to knock.
Okay, knock on the door. There's no answer for a bit.
I'll knock again.
Okay, with a little bit of wait, eventually you hear some sounds from the other side of the door, and a couple of latches are undone, and as she opens the door, you see the familiar visage of Bobina, the Moose Lagoose, in a nightgown, sort of like with those little nightcaps as well. Very small eyes of one who had clearly been asleep, holding a candle. She, oh my, Mr. Noah, is that you? Good evening.
Hi, Bobina. Yes, it is I. Did I wake you?
You did.
My apologies. I was looking for a friendly face, a friend, someone to talk to. Is now a good time for you, or would you prefer I wait until later today?
Sorry, what was that? She cups her hand behind her ear and points it towards you. Bobina's a little hard of hearing.
I was looking for a friend to talk to. Is now a good time, or should I talk to you later today?
Oh, well, has something happened to you, Mr. Noah?
I'm fine physically, but I have some questions about mm, people that I don't really have the answers to. I was wondering, maybe you might have some insight. I think people underestimate how good you are at understanding others.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's not urgent, then if you could come by the library in the afternoon, maybe?
It's a little urgent.
Oh,
She joined the chat.
roll a persuasion check, please.
Yeah. Oh God. Goodness gracious. I don't have my inspiration back yet.
Yes.
Hang on. I don't have my reroll up. I don't have my inspiration. Let me just see real quick my shit. Perchance I have something that could aid in this attempt.
It's almost like
Otherwise, it's
do
going
you have
to
enhance
be
ability?
no.
Yeah.
Well,
You
you didn't
you
cast
pretty
it when
much
you got here anyway.
you pretty much just told her that you want to ask about some people, which to her mind does not feel very urgent.
No, not ask about some people. Ask about people in general.
Yes, but still, you know, like the
That
way.
also does not sound urgent.
Yeah, the to your benefit, there is probably some battle damage on your clothes, which would make her not immediately dismiss that outright. But it's still going to be like a middling DC to convince her that, like, you know, oh, this is worth like me not fucking sleeping.
I'm also playing off the idea here that Noah has never done this. So for him to show up at any time at night to ask a question, which I don't think he's very want to do, that is my angle. But I will
I'm
roll the
aware.
persuasion. Yeah, I will roll the persuasion here. It's a solid fucking -2. I do not have anything to buff my shit. This is so sad. Chat.
Well, with 2 on the persuasion check, Bobina, while looking at you curiously, of course, observing everything that you're doing, she says, she kind of like clears her throat and goes, "Well, I'm sorry to hear that you have such matters to discuss, Mr. Noah, but I don't think I will be able to help you out very well before I have slept a bit more." You can see she's already like preparing herself to close the door, you know, in that way. Like she's not closing it in your face, but she has the vibe. She's like, "Well, how does 10 in the morning look to you?"
I look up at the night sky to gauge how long that's going to be from now.
I'll try to be there.
Yeah.
I'll try to be there.
Oh,
Thank
very
you,
good.
Bobina. Sleep well.
Oh, you're very welcome, Mr. Noah. I'll be waiting for you. If you can't be there on time, it's fine as well. Just come whenever you are available. She closes the door.
This is at the beginning of the villain arc. Reaching out one more time to someone to listen to your problems, and you're not being taken seriously. Now it's on.
Sometimes the dice
Imagine
have the story
asking
to tell.
anyone.
No, it's wonderful. It could have gone one of 2 ways, but I think this is one where it could go this way. But Noah, I don't believe, has any other trusted individual really in this town outside of the party whom he won't be contacting right now because of reasons.
Doesn't Noah have a certain author he has always admired and
Are you so for
stuck
real?
in? I am just saying.
Are you so for real? Moving on.
It is an option. I'm just saying it
It's
is an
no-
option. You are allowed to consider it. It would be. Wouldn't it be so interesting though?
Currently, the reason why you can't read.
Wouldn't it be wouldn't it be super interesting? I'm
It
just
would
saying
be-
that.
I think if yes, I agree with you. Incredibly interesting. If the situation was different, definitely something I would consider, but he's part of the reason why this shit is happening.
True.
So no. I think Noah is just going to decide. Is it easy enough to get out of Great Helm at night? Just to take a walk?
It is easy enough, but Marco had told you guys not to do that. He had explicitly ordered, like, no one gets in, no one gets out.
You want him to talk to this nigga.
Did he say why? don't
Well,
recall.
at the time, it seemed to be basically a matter of, like, don't try to ask for help from anyone. Don't try to get help from anyone.
Mhm.
Like, if you leave the city or if anyone comes here to help you, I'm gonna do something bad to everyone here.
Don't want
It
to
was
ask
sort of in that
anyone for
sense.
help. I just kind of want to walk through the snow a little bit.
I know.
Is that something that could be? I mean, he could interpret it however the fuck he wants.
Not gonna make any more suggestions.
No, I know. I'm gonna try to get up on the walls and just kind of circle Great Helm if I'm allowed up there.
Okay, yeah. Well, technically you're not allowed to, like there would be guard patrols, but you
Invisibility.
you having some, yeah, I'm not even gonna bother like going through the whole song and dance. Like if you still have some amount of magic left, I'm sure you're gonna have a way of getting there without the guards noticing or bothering you.
Yeah, I don't have invisibility, but I'm sure with some of the other spells I would.
Something happens, yes.
Yeah, something like. Yeah, something. I could probably use something, wait at the right time, and get up there, and then.
He
Could also
sees a guard and turns into a snowman.
I could also disguise
Totally
self.
inconspicuous.
Yeah, disguise self and turn into somebody and walk the walls.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I wish to look out into the night, and I'm hoping it's probably snowing a little bit, so I feel a little calmer. Something about the soft falling of the snow, the quiet.
Roll a d6 on a 3 or higher. It is snowing.
Wonderful.
For a blessing, it seems like the weather at least is willing to cooperate with you.
Okay. Thanks to my Barith fur coat, that also means I have 10 additional feet of movement.
Yes.
So I'm going to be making sure I do that. Just walking quickly, looking out into the night sky. Out into onto the open field where it's snowing, and how much fire do I play with? A lot, I think. I'm going to stand there for a moment, and I'm going to look at the left hand again, where I had seen another hand appear, where it usually had not. And I'm going to just cast, can I? Yeah, I'm just gonna cast. I'm gonna cast what's called a cantrip just out into the night.
Okay.
Obviously, I want to make sure nobody's around to see me. So I'm going to just point your finger out into the night. I'm going to cast Force Bolt. So it's just going to be finger gun, release, And I want to see if another hand appears next to mine during this casting.
No hand appears, but what do you usually say when you cast Forcebolt? I'm assuming
one.
there is a verbal component.
With great knowledge comes great power. Bang.
Okay. Do you speak Elvish?
Let me just see if that's one I picked. Yes.
Okay. You you look and you have the intention of casting the spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you open your mouth to speak the words that you usually do to cast the spell, and you find that instead you speak a small phrase in Elvish. A phrase that means something along the lines of undiluted power and precise. You do the same gesture as always, and you speak those words, which you had never really spoken to cast the spell before. And
Undiluted
the spell,
power and precise.
yes. And it just shoots in the way it usually does. It is a very old dialect of Elvish. Like, you speak the language so you can understand what it means, but it's something like someone saying 13th, century English.
Okay.
You can get it, but it's weird. No, it's more like undiluted power, comma, and precise, Like the precise is also an adjective together with the undiluted. It's not
Okay.
precision.
That doesn't really make sense in English, but
I think
for
you would probably flip it and then it would work. Precise and undiluted power.
yeah.
But
I don't think it matters.
just said something that I don't remember having said before.
Yes.
And I'd just like to look inward for a moment. Is there any place within my mind where this might have come from that I feel in this moment?
Do you want to make a wisdom saving throw? A will saving throw, rather. So, intelligence or charisma.
Going for it.
No. You're not really sure why. It feels a bit odd, but it seems to have worked all the same.
So I'll whisper to myself.
Is that you?
There's no really voice, no voice to answer. It's just a feeling of yourself saying, "Is that you?" And it, because of how you are targeting this question, there is also a thought, which is kind of like, "Of course it is. Of course it's me. I just did that."
I'll whisper to myself as well.
Where are you? How are you? I think I need some help.
Again, like, it's not. It doesn't like you're trying to like establish like almost like a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of like feels you're not really reaching something that feels like an answer. It's just internal answers from yourself. Like, well, yeah, it's me. I just did that. And then like, where are you? Well, I'm right here, on top of the Great Helm Wall. This is where I am. It's to a level where you can't be sure right now if this is something that is a feeling that is being implanted in your thoughts, or if it's just like the natural response to considering these things with your own mind. But you can also realize that this is because your mental it felt for a moment like you were perhaps losing grasp on something, and then you instinctively like sort of held it together.
Put
to
my
yourself.
guard back up.
Reflexively. You can voluntarily lower it, but you do feel like you instinctively just preserved your own head.
I wish you could see my face right now.
We should play with cameras sometimes.
Yeah.
Really nice.
I know it doesn't quite work this way, but Noah, I think, is a very precise person who, I think, up to a certain degree, he's proud to have a good amount of control over his emotions and thoughts and feelings, whichever ones are there. And I wish to try and little by little pull back just a touch. I don't want to completely let my guard down, but I wish to pull back a little bit to try and allow the smallest of streams of perhaps another consciousness or whatever it is that I'm feeling that could enter my mind.
Okay, make another intelligence saving throw, but with disadvantage.
Can I roll worse? No.
Okay. You try to lower yourself, your guards, a bit, and let something else in, or let almost like your intrusive thoughts come to the forefront, and you find yourself feeling dizzy all of a sudden. And you had asked, "Where am I?" Right? Like, where are you?
Where are you? How are you? I
Okay.
think I need some help.
You find yourself thinking several different things. You are right here, obviously, and you feel like this is the place to be, but at the same time it feels almost like there's something else there that is also here. Something else looking through you. And at the same time you start remembering things, looking out from within a vat at someone who looked a lot like yourself, only a bit older. And then you remember looking not from inside the vat out, but from out of it, looking at your own body, naked, inside that vat, sort of like bubbling and only half awake. It's like you're remembering both of these positions at once. And then you remember again being in a different place, still within the same environment probably, but with strapped to some sort of device with many implements of magic and alchemy around them. And you see a sheep type Lagoose with vampiric traits looking at you, handling something in the controls of this device that you were in, and then you're still at the outer wall of Great Helm looking at all of these things, and you're not, it feels like all of those things are an answer to where you are. Like, where are you? When you think of where you are, those are the things that really just pop into your head. And when you say you need help, at the same time there is you're obviously thinking that you need it, and at the same time you're thinking that you have everything you need with you. You don't need other people or other knowledge other than the ones you have amassed over so many centuries of life.
No help from that direction either, really. I'm going to put my guard back up. I guess I'll have to try and figure it out by myself for now. And I'll just spend some more time up on the walls until it's an appropriate time for me to go chill for just a couple hours before I decide whatever else it is that I would like to do. I'll just remain up on the mountain, on the wall.
Mm-hmm. As you think that you just have to rely on yourself for now, there is a second part to that thought that comes to you as well. Just a compliment. I always have, and I always will.
Just kind of snorted that.
It's over the course of time, it becomes increasingly difficult for you to tell if those are your own thoughts or not.
Mm-hmm.
It was much clearer back on the Wolfwood when things were being intrusive, but right now it's just maybe you really are thinking that. But we're gonna cut
leave
away
it at
from
that.
Noah.
Yep, I'll
now.
stay up on the wall. Probably, like, I assume I'll just have, like, alter itself into any, like, guard that I might have seen or something like that.
Yeah, you can find ways. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, going back to the crew headed to the other side, while we have ascertained that Mr. Noah will not be joining us tonight for the events that are to take place at the tavern, so we're going to wind back a little and see the journey to the other side. The walk itself is uneventful. Whatever it is you would like to do, if there's anything you think would interfere in something in a major manner, you're free to add your thoughts, but I will already say that Lucina is carrying Penelope. She is not in the speaking mood, so you will be thoroughly brushed off if you have something to add before you reach the tavern. As for Rala, who is very sleepy,
Then I will not keep walking with her if she's not willing to engage in an actual talk.
as for Rala, since she was very sleepy, and you guys have the rest of the adventurers to carry as well, Kayla, who is feeling quite more energetic than her, will offer to carry her. They're almost like the same size, so it's a little, child carrying another child, but it seems like she's pretty capable of carrying Rala on piggyback, so she will offer to help in that regard.
I think Galuno will say she's got it. She's kind of gotten used to carrying Rala, sort of.
Right.
Let's relax a little bit.
In which case, Kayla would just walk alongside you, always keeping an eye if Rala is sleeping. If she is sleeping, then if she is having like a she seems comfortable or something.
I'm just gonna wait for the others to catch up, actually. I'm not gonna keep following Yukina. I'm just gonna stop and wait for them.
Eventually it'll be Lilia with Mizell. Right?
Yes, you should be carrying the rest of the adventurers who have not woken
I
up
have
yet.
an armful of adventures, and I maybe a bit of a, or is Mizell kind of working as a help for Jurgen? I imagine he's still a little.
I had a quick question. But when we were all departing the ballroom, did Noah tell us where he was going or say anything, or did he just walk off?
No, Noah didn't walk off when you guys were there. Noah told you guys he was gonna stay there for a little bit more, and then
You walked
whatever
off, bitch.
yeah, you guys walked off, and whatever he did, you weren't there to see it. You wouldn't know it.
Gotcha. So then he would just kind of say, "Don't stay too long. There's people coming back. Come find us."
Would have given you one of those, those like dismissive anime waves as I turn my back on you. Not in a like fuck you kind of way, but in a like we'll see about that kind of way.
Can myself tell that there's something like kind of funny going on in Noah's mind right now? Like just like that he's a little unsettled.
Can I step into the DM shoe for 1 second?
I will. Yeah, I will say for now that, like, just as a reminder, this interaction happened before Noah had his quiet moment, which was at the end of last session. This was right after you guys had like the heated discussion with Lukina, etc.
I know. I'm not changing the outcome of things. I just want it for Mizell's personal knowledge.
I know, yes, and I'm just saying this because it will affect how settled or unsettled no one might be in this moment, whether or not like he had more thoughts after he had his brief interaction with himself afterwards. But you're welcome to answer that in whatever way you
Lilia
wish.
would just put in like,
Noah?
"Hey, see you back at the house later."
Yep.
Yeah, my only DM answer there would be, you decide how well you know Noah. I think I'm role playing him as openly as I can right now. So you decide how you interpret that.
Yep.
It's not like he's
That's
acting
fair.
out or anything. It's just being perhaps a touch more quiet than usual.
And like it's very subtle, and they haven't known each other all that long, but that is kind of one of Mizell's specialties, is picking up on those subtle things. So I think he would just kind of nod and help Jurgen while Lilia is carrying everyone else.
Yeah, Jurgen needs help for like a little bit, but afterwards he's like, "Oh no, I think I'm quite settled. It's fine," and he would be able to just walk normally. So, is there anything noteworthy you wish to add to the walk to the other side?
Lilia just would
Maybe
have been like,
just
"All right,
kind of-
see you at the house."
Yeah, and like on Mizell's end, it might just kind of be more of like gentle questions of like, what do you remember? Like, did Penelope like have other people around that they saw, things like that?
Yeah, Jurgen is he's fine enough to walk, but he's still sort of like piecing things together in his brain. You can see that it might be a little too early to interrogate him on things, and if you press, he would tell you that himself. Like, I can speak later, but
Yeah, and he's definitely not pressing. He's just kind of like conversing, like as they walk.
yes. So as you guys get to the other side, I will say that along the way, Valerie would also wake up. It is Jurgen had dispelled the enchantment on her, so it's up to you guys whether you guys wish to sort of put her down again or just let
She'll
her.
just kind of be like, "Oh, hey there. Good morning. Evening?
Yep.
Good evening.
Yeah, to sort of like expedite that part, she well, she has some level of mental fog, like Jürgen, like first adjusting to things. She seems to not dwell on it as long as he did. She kind of gets her bearings faster, and also doesn't seem to be very happy about things. She's still not being like super talkative, but she's like, we'll just talk about things after. As you apprise her of the current plans of, getting everyone to the other side, to have this sort of...
Do either of them seem to bear any ill will toward the party?
No.
Okay.
As you get to the other side, Lucina would have quickly arranged for things to be set up so you could do exactly the thing that she was doing in present time, so to speak.
I need to talk to Lilia.
Debriefing everyone. Talking to whom?
Lilia.
Okay, so what's going to happen here on Lucina's orders is all of the Grayskull members were already in the tavern. Lucina had instructed them to sleep here in case they needed backup because they were going to undergo the mission at the ball tonight. So everyone was here already. Essentially, they just get woken up and they come down to set up this sort of emergency meeting. Penelope herself is being carried to a sort of like storage area, like a pantry in the back, tied to a chair. Valerie has knowledge of many like herbs and potions. She quickly produces something that will essentially make Penelope, Xander, and Ekaterina all sleep until she just doesn't want them to sleep anymore, basically. So while you guys are having the meeting, Jürgen and Valerie can stay on the same block, like with Penny in the pantry, to keep an eye on her. If you wish, you can. If you don't want to leave them alone in such a manner, like it would be acceptable for one of you to remain there, if that's something you guys would be interested in. But otherwise, while Lucina is setting everything up and the Grayskull members are all like sort of like waking up, having like a drink of water or a splash of something before they get to the meeting, you would have some time to discuss or make other arrangements. The one thing I will ask beforehand is Rala going to wake up and participate on the undergoings, or is she going to go to bed like a good child?
I mean, I feel like, she almost died. It's already super late. She's out.
All right. In which case, Miss Julia would quickly set up one of their most comfortable rooms, look at Kayla and be like, "Oh, is that little Rala's friend?" Be all very like welcome and receptive. Kayla looks a little like timid, but happy to receive the reception, and she would get a room where the both of you can sleep soundly and peacefully. How is Rala feeling in this moment?
So probably just, aside from just the pure exhaustion, like in a bed with her best friend, prior best friend, just like a sort of at peace a little bit, maybe like a little smile as the unconscious try to like snuggle a little more.
All right. What would you do if you lost Kayla again? If you like woke up and she wasn't there?
That is a thinker.
Something foreshadowing.
she would be very hurt. Not as... I don't know if it would be as hurt as the first time, because things might change, as you know. First it might be like, it might be a joke, haha. She finally came back and now she's playing a trick on me.
Do you feel like you have more friends than the first time you lost Kayla?
Yes.
Okay. Just asking. Rala and Kayla can sleep quite soundly and have whatever dreams they wish at the second floor of the other side inn. Now, any other additions while everything is getting set up here? There's not... You can find private corners to talk in, but not like a completely secluded spot.
Would
Okay,
Rala and
well-
Kayla have already retreated by the time Mizell and them got back?
Everyone got back at the same time. Like, you were a little bit behind, but it's a pretty long walk onto the other side. You could easily have caught up to the group and everyone gets there together, and then Lucina starts organizing things for the trial, essentially. And that is when Jurgen and Valerie would, for instance, take Penny to the storage at the back, and Rala and Kayla would be ushered to the room, to a bedroom where they can sleep in peace.
Gotcha.
Who else wants to add something?
Lillian, a Luna talk?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Aluna seems really, really drained. Probably like not in the way that you've seen her since the Mark sort of acted up and took over her in the aftermath of that. She just seems very tired.
It just kind of like gives you a big hug with like a squeeze at the end.
You're wonderful, darling.
We'll get through this.
Kayla. And she sort of lowers her voice. I'm not sure. I don't know, and that's why I can't tell myself yet. Where's Noah? Where did he go?
He wanted to stay back for a bit. He said he needed some time alone.
Is he okay? Oh
don't know.
God, I wasn't even
He's-
thinking about him.
Yeah, I think he just needs some time to think alone, and he's right to ask for it. That's something. It's totally fine to ask for that.
I think seeing Noah visibly not be here, it's not surprising to Luna, but she looks just even sort of more tired than before. She kind of steals her face over her eyes, just go sort of blank, and she just shakes her head. Kayla, though, that's focus on one thing. I caught an odd scent on her, like brimstone. It was similar to, and DM, correct me if I'm wrong. It was similar to like sort of that smell that we caught at the graveyard, but the place inside the crypt.
Not.
Circles.
You can make that connection logically, but it's not that the scent reminded you of something you sensed in that place necessarily. You just felt the scent of brimstone, which, as shared culture informs us, is something associated with infernals, fiends of many sorts.
Yeah. I caught a scent of brimstone. It could be nothing. It could be Maybe she got caught up in some of our fight with the blast, Xander, and all that fire, but
It could mean something about the graveyard.
It could mean something else happened to her. I don't know, she was gone for so long. She was taken by 2, 3 vampires. None of which were all really quite right in their heads. I need you to keep an eye on Rala, an eye on her.
I will.
I don't know what I'm
You
gonna
want me
do.
to go wait outside the door, or do you want me to stay down here for this talk?
I worry about Rala. What happens down here will happen. I can inform you of whatever decision we come to. If there is something you want to say, or if you have any sort of feelings about Penelope and
If they need better context for what those eyes are able to do, I mean, we have some of Selena's records and stuff. I think you still have those, right?
yeah, yes,
I mean,
it's in the
use
back.
some of those.
I need one thing to be all right, at least, and I want that to be Rala, if nothing else.
She'll kind of pull you in for a hug.
She hugs you back really tight. If it gets bad, if my worst suspicions are right, I want you to promise this to me. If Kayla turns out to be not who she says she is, taking advantage of Rala or something dangerous, I will personally handle it. And Rala will probably be mad at me. She might hate me. That's okay. I still need you to be there for her.
Okay.
And that's a lot on you. I'm sorry.
If that's what you want, I'll keep my hands clean.
She needs someone. Let's go. Takes a beat. See her stop the desire to cry for a moment and sort of just a mask of that sort of laid back veneer on her face. Well, have a judgment to get through. Let's see how this goes.
Don't be afraid to show them more than the math.
She kind of just places a hand on your cheek and smiles at you. And this one more a genuine smile. You turned out so good, Lilia.
I do what I can.
I'm gonna go get Myzel. They'll probably be starting soon.
All right. I'll probably just post up in the hallway outside. I don't want to raise any alarms for anything.
Yeah,
Just let me know when it's done.
Of course. I think she'll go to where She'll go too.
I feel like Lilia has an urge to ruffle Luna's hair for a moment and thinks better of it.
You will die for it and see what happens. I have a reaction for either or.
Sure, just roll d20. See what
Yeah,
happens.
sure. Yeah, see what happens.
No, not two of them. So. Neutral.
Wow. The dice said you gotta choose.
Okay.
She does
So
it. She just ruffles her hair. Just like, it's kind of like gives you a little pat on the head. It's like, you got this.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to have right now. Heads over to myself.
I think my Zell would probably have been floating a little bit, helping Valerie like administer some of the potions. If Lucina needed any assistance, helping her get ready for the meeting.
no,
And
she is. As soon as Lucina arrived, Catherine just pretty much like went to her, and from that moment, she's been handling everything with Sister Catherine.
Okay, he
You-
would have just
you
kind
can
of
s-
asked if they needed any assistance.
No, they're cool. They're good.
Okay.
Kinda
Then he'd have been
catch you
helping
in-
Valerie and then checking in on Xander and Ekaterina.
Yeah, Xander and Katarina pretty much like it's a matter of whether you guys want to try to dispel them right now or leave it for later.
We don't have any more
Um,
charges of the Asuna materia, and my Zell's pretty much tapped with everything else, so
Yeah,
that's gonna have to be a later
took
thing.
Jurgen some effort, but with a coordinated effort, if that's something you're interested in, you have more spellcasters in this place right now, so they could try something. It would just be a little effortful.
Yeah, in that case, I think maybe he would have like tried to organize a couple of the other spellcasters. Like Valerie and Jurgen have experience. Jurgen was able to cleanse Valerie and like gather any of the others who were adept in spellcasting. I know Sister Catherine's busy right now, but find some of the others to try and lift the charm on the other two.
Yeah, the older Jotun, Mr. Gundir, if you would request assistance, he would assist. Valerie has some leftover magical energy as well that she could dedicate to
Would
this.
this prep have taken longer than an hour?
No, not longer than an hour.
Okay,
It's
then
pretty short, and you're basically doing this in the time that it takes for them to set up everything at the tavern hall, because this takes like sort of quick precedence.
Okay.
Whether or not you can try to dispel, you can dispel them, or if you can do both of them, or it will just do one, depends on how the roll is gonna go.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you want to assist them, I would say that Valerie could make a spellcasting ability check to try to free one of them. Do you have an opinion on who takes priority, or is it all the same to you?
Katarina's probably gonna be harder.
Yeah.
Xander's the most recent, so he's probably the easiest. Also, like, Mizell didn't really like Ekaterina much, so like he tries not to let that play into things, but just like subconscious bias, he would probably go ahead and suggest Xander first.
I think out of actual non-biased, Aluna would say Xander because it would be easier, and you can just let that be your reason.
Well, and that's how he's rationalizing it too, is that it would be easier.
Yeah, I feel like while you're deliberating, Aluna's already said it, just because it was the most logical conclusion.
Valerie's pick would be Ekaterina, primarily, but she will acquiesce to your wishes since you guys.
I'd like to hear her reasoning.
Zendo is a clown. Ekaterina is very efficient at what she does.
True, but he's an honest clown.
Is that a good thing?
May or may not be. Also, Luna, sorry, before I hit you a lot. But also,
I am
your
well
curses
aware.
were a bitch.
Oh, very pleased to know.
Oh,
Doesn't I don't charge that much to cast them on your worst enemies if you prefer.
That's interesting. We can alchemical talks later. I have a great device that you actually I just kind of show her if she was using like potions and things to put them asleep. I'll just show her like Selena's sort of like setup.
Oh, fascinating. Well, time is a bit short now, but you will have to tell me where you got acquire that relic. Afterward.
That's a story and a half.
I'm sure it is, but anyway, time is of the essence, and soon dawn will come. If you want the feather boy to be awake, then feather boy will be awake.
How much more difficult do you think it?
That's exactly what Myzel was gonna ask. Go ahead.
How much more difficult do you think it would be to awake Ekaterina? Has it been quite a
Hard to
many
tell.
years?
Probably something like 40%, 50% harder. Doable,
Would you rather
but
us try on her, then go ahead and probably succeed on Xander?
no, it's fine. I will let you take the pick, because you are the ones who are primarily solving this pickle, after all.
Well, it almost doesn't feel fair to have a without all your opinions, I wouldn't want to make a decision on anything.
Let him sleep. We need to find some clothes for him anyway.
Stop your bitching. You want Xander awake? We'll get Xander awake. It's fine. She kind of like rolls her eyes at you, trying to be like reconciling, and begin setting things up to wake Xander up.
I like her.
She, unlike Jurgen did a very some herbs and stuff. She also uses a lot of like herbs and ointments, but it seems like she is mixing several disciplines here. She puts some herbs over Xander's body, but she also draws an arcane sigil around his body, in ways that you would see maybe Noah doing, but they look a little bit more esoteric. And she takes a little bit of ink and draws like a fucking inverted pentagram on his forehead. Compared to Jurgen's very peaceful like nature magic thing, hers looks like, oh, some black magic is happening here, you know?
Bubble, toil and trouble.
On the meanwhile, Mr. Gundir, who is helping, doesn't seem to approve of her methods, but he sort of like grabs a hammer-looking symbol on a necklace and begins muttering prayers in the dwarvish tongue, asking for the hammer, the great hammer that strikes all anvils of the world, to get this shunted and bent blade and just slam it back into its proper shape. Things of that nature. And Valerie is going to then put her hands over Xander's body, and this purple energy begins to flare in the room as the lights dim for a moment. She's going to try dispel magic on him with some assistance from Mr. Gundir.
Can she add a +3 if the tools, Selena's tools, might have helped?
There is no force in this world that is going to save the roll that she just got.
Was that a double nat 1?
It was.
Damn.
So yes, unfortunately, as she works her magic, it just, you can all see that it kind of like doesn't latch, like doesn't penetrate Xander's body, it just rebounds, and she goes, "Ugh, maybe I'm not as awake as I thought I was."
Sorry, we can try again tomorrow when we're more rested.
Yes, we'll have to make do for now. I'll go help Jürgen take care of the woman. And everything begins taking its place. The Grayscale members are all gathered around the tavern, and as was mentioned at the start of session, Lucina recounts to them the events of the evening, having informed them that since an impasse was reached regarding Penelope's fate, we will be now discussing it in this moment. And the Grayscale members here gathered, the 6 of them, will be responsible for, will be taking jury duty, essentially, and they will be collectively deciding what is to be done with Penelope. If a tie is reached between them, Lucina herself will be the one to break it and decide between both options that had been tied at.
There's not one or two what options are being presented?
None currently. That is part of the thing.
Okay.
The procedure from her side is that well, I'm just going to speak as her. The procedure will be as following. We will call Penelope here. We will get an account from her of the events that have been transpiring in the city since she was turned into a vampire, or perhaps earlier even. We will also get accounts from Jürgen Clawsong and Valerie Herringhall, both victims of her meddling with the city's affairs. If any others wish to testify, present arguments, or suggest courses of action, there will be a free period for that to happen as well. After all suggestions of resolutions have been made, the jury will be given time to think, and you may then vote on whatever outcomes you feel are more reasonable.
Is Ashini here?
No, she isn't.
Hmm.
I will state, in the terms of Great Helmian law, that the fates that might be applicable to Penelope are incarceration, exile, and depending on crimes, the death penalty. But as commander of the city guard, I do believe there is no grounds for which to apply the death penalty to this woman. But as to the specifics and the security measures to be taken with her in either incarceration or exile, that will be for the jury to decide. While we are unable to procure the rest of the judicial system to deliver a fair trial. Are all agreed? Grayscale members just kind of nod. They're a little tense, but nod. Anyone have objections?
Luna feels half present. Just doesn't even say anything.
I'm
Very
sitting
well.
outside Rala and Kayla's room, right? I'm not even-
You could be. In which case you will not be able to hear everything of the meeting, since they are on the second floor.
No, Elena wanted me to wait outside Rala and Kayla's room, so that's where I will be.
Okay. So we only have Iluna and Maizel listening in on the trial. Lukina will go to the back pantry. In the interest of preserving the defendant's I don't know what the technical term is, but sort of like the gist of it is they're going to wake her first, and have Jurgen and Valerie inform her of the current state of affairs, just so she's not vexed by being like blindfolded in a room full of people she doesn't know, etc.
Yeah, being, I think that's just, there isn't necessarily another way to say it besides that.
Yeah.
I think that is the way to say it.
Yeah, like preserve the defendant's something, like moral integrity. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I think
Integrity of the case.
Yeah, the integrity of
Or
information.
integrity of the trial.
Yeah, integrity. There's some. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a scientist.
But anyway, she goes off, and there is a few minutes of conversation in there. After which, the door opens again. Lukina re-emerges, and Jurgen is sort of like leading Penelope, who is no longer like at the chair. She is awake. She looks quite like nervous as she walks, still blindfolded. That's why he's sort of like got a hand around her and is leading her towards a chair that has been prepared at the center of the room. Valerie is not like really touching her, just like got her arms crossed and is walking beside. They sit Penny on the chair. She's sort of like looking around. She can't really see, but she's looking around just out of like reflex. And she kind of like, you see she leans over in Jurgen's general direction and sort of like whispers, like, how was that? And he goes, I think that should be all right. She then raises her voice like, good evening. Penny knows this is not very good manners, but you must please excuse Penny for not being able to bow at this moment. Jurgen kind of like sighs, and Lukina clears her throat. Penelope, you are being tried for crimes against the city of Great Helm. To put everyone to speed, we have informed Penelope a few minutes ago of her eyes' abilities to influence others' behaviors, a fact which she has and Penny cuts her off and goes like, Jurgen says that this is true, but Penny still finds this very weird, and looking at like takes the reins like back from her, like I'm sure her feelings on the matter will subside eventually, but that is the truth of the facts. Now, Penelope, would you state your name and age for the improvised court we have here. And Penelope, looking increasingly distressed, goes, my name is Penelope. Penny had a last name, but Darling told her she didn't have to worry about it anymore, so she doesn't. Penny is... Well, Penny was 25 years old when, Penny should be 41 now, Penny thinks. Lukina nods and says, very well. I would like for you to describe the events of your life in a succinct fashion. Puts a lot of emphasis on the word. Like, there is a connotation of, like, I don't want to be here all night. Just, very brief. Keep it brief. And Penny says, okay. Well, Penny was born in Greytown, and Penny had parents. Penny's parents were not around a lot, but that was fine. Penny sometimes played around with other kids, and Penny sometimes played around with other adults. And Penny started growing up, and then Penny started playing around with more of the adults more. And some of Penny's parents' friends liked Penny very much, so Penny would sometimes go to them, and it felt like they liked Penny, but they would always just go away, and Penny wasn't very sure why, but nobody really stayed. Well, they did some fun things with Penny sometimes, but then they all left, and it made Penny very sad. But then Penny met Darling, and that was when Penny was 20 something, and Darling was really good to Penny. He treated Penny very well, and he gave Penny the fancy things that none of the others would have Penny wear, except when they wanted Penny to wear some things because they liked it, but they never let Penny keep the things. And they would always just go away the next day. But not Darling. Darling stayed. He stayed with Penny, and Penny liked Darling very much because Darling treated Penny very well, and he never went away. And Darling, he asked if Penny wanted to be with him. And Penny sort of blushes and begins almost like moving around like a little girl. And he said that he could make sure Penny could be with him forever, but Penny would have to be to change, to not be a human being anymore. But Penny was already very alone with other humans as well. So Penny thought, well, it wasn't really any trouble at all for Penny to not be a human. So Penny said yes, and Darling bit Penny's neck, and it felt pretty bad. And then it started feeling very good. And then Penny was with Darling. Always and always. Well, except when Darling was with his wife, because the wife always took precedence. But Penny didn't mind, because Darling gave Penny a lot of attention. And then Darling brought Penny lots of gifts. And, but one day Darling said Penny couldn't walk around outside anymore. He tried to tell Penny why, but Penny didn't really understand. But he did say he would bring Penny company, and so he brought Cat, a kitty cat. Xander calls her that. He said she would be Penny's friend, and she would keep Penny safe, and she did. And Penny asked Darling if Penny could start hosting parties from time to time, because she always the people that Penny saw when she was little, they would always be at these parties and doing all of these things, and Penny wanted to do them too. So Darling said, yes, well, why not? And but he gave Penny some rules though, because he said Penny had to keep herself safe, and Penny followed them because Penny's a very good girl. But well, Penny has been asking people to stay at their houses, and they've been saying yes, and Penny has been asking people to host her balls at people's houses, and they've been saying yes as well. And well, from time to time, Penny sees someone who is very, 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 very interesting and very, very attractive to Penny. Unfortunately, well, she looks a little troubled. Well, Penny thought she was very lucky because they all liked her back, but Jürgen is saying now that they didn't actually really like Penny, and and maybe Penny's not been very good to them, but Penny didn't know that either, so Penny is not sure what to think of that. But well, that's what Penny has been doing until tonight, when Lulu and the others came, and they weren't very happy with Penny, and they hurt Penny's special ones, and now we're here. Lukina had been just like her arms crossed, her great axe is resting like beside her. Not really like too much of an expression on her face necessarily, just listening. She, as Penny concludes her story, she goes, very well, that is sufficient for your account of the facts. She turns towards the rest of the people. If you wish to ask her questions later, there will be a time. Does anyone have anything pressing to add before we move on to the next testimony?
I think no. I think Yoda opens her mouth to say something and feels a bit of blood come down the side of her lip, and she stops and wipes it. She doesn't say anything else. Just waits.
Does Zell get the sense that Lucina is kind of putting together more and more of the pieces of who Darling's identity is from all of this?
You are already certain that she knows.
Okay.
She was back at the ballroom. She was asking you to test if you would tell her the truth, not because she had any doubts about it. But nobody else really speaks up. Everyone looks quite troubled. If you wish to know the expressions of any single person from the ones in the room, you're free to ask, and I will stop and add that. But for now, we're going to continue. Lucina then says, "Very well. The victims here, Valerie Harrenhall and Jürgen Clausong. Is there any of you who did not wish to testify?" Both of them just kind of hold their silence. Very well. Valerie, then. You have been the shortest out of the both of you, I am to understand. And Valerie just goes, yes. Well, here are the facts from my perspective. I came to this city to do some business, sell my services as I usually do. Not all of you will be palatable to them, and I am sure most of you aren't capable of affording them either, but that's whatever. Not what this is about. Anyway, came here to peddle my wares, made a few contracts, and just as I was getting around to doing them, I got an invitation to a ball. I decided that a fancy ball was exactly the kind of place where I could meet better clients who could maybe be in need of my talents. I attended said ball, and, well, this one, she looks at Penelope, and you can see she has a little bit more aggression to her gaze than Jürgen does. Took a couple glances at me, and suddenly I was feeling weak in the knees. Feverish, even. Sort of sickly attraction. Not that I thought it sickly at the time, of course, it felt very natural. But look, suffice to say, I spent the last, I don't know how many years, accompanying Penelope and the rest of them. I was never mistreated, mind. Not in the slightest. If anything, I had need for many potions and many trinkets and many magical things that I required for my, not just for my abilities, but for my hobbies as well, and they always made sure that they were delivered. So in that regard, I have not been hurt, physically or mentally, although you could argue that my morals were hurt by default. I must say, I have several investments that have probably gone to shit by this time, because I've just lost several years of my life not taking care of my finances, and who knows what might have happened to other projects I had been taking care of. So that is where I stand currently. As for what you do with the girl, I must say she has not mistreated me, and I understand that she might not have had intent to harm me, but harmed I was. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I can demand reparations from anyone because she doesn't have an actual fractal to her name. But if I could, I would. And that's the end of that. Looking again. Nods. Turns to Jürgen. As for you. Oh. He coughs. Looks a little awkward. Well, pleasure to meet all of you. My name is Jürgen Clausong, and the rest of my life is perhaps irrelevant to a lot of you, but as Miss Valerie here, I was by the city to procure some things during my travels. I am not from this land, and I don't mingle much with the richer folk, but I had some necessities that perhaps the common stores of city would not be able to accommodate, so I had to make a few connections, largely against my will, but still, which led me to a certain party, and well, from Miss Valerie's account here, I think you can piece together what happened next. The years that I have spent in Penelope's company were it is a tricky thing. They were not unwilling, but discussing this now, we can obviously come to the conclusion that my willingness was fabricated, so to speak. But, and I believe Miss Harrenhal here might be a bit distressed, and she did not put much emphasis on the fact, we were never mistreated. On the contrary, Penelope here, she was very eager to please us, I think. She often asked us what kind of things we like to do or to eat or other things. If we wanted to read perhaps some kind of book, she would ask the gentleman that she calls darling, which we have not quite met, to procure those things, books for us, games, board games, cards. Of course, we couldn't go out. Internal rules and whatnot. I suspect her darling might have been more savvy to the nature of her powers than she herself was, and imposed some limitations that would keep her under control, if I'm being quite honest. But, well, things being as they are, he looks at her, and you can, his mind has cleared up, like, considerably by now. You can tell he's, like, in his full, like, a full capacity of mind, but he still looks at her, and there is a lot of conflict in his face, and he adds, she's always done her best to make sure we were as happy as could be, and we engaged in sexual acts and the like. Make no mistake. She was also quite insistent, but she consenting and happy and willing to all the things that we were doing together with her. I suppose what I mean to say is, I might have been coerced, but I never felt coerced. Well,
difficult.
Perhaps I am rambling here. And I apologize to the Amanda. She asked for my account, and I am giving personal opinions, but... Well, those are parts of my experience as well. I have lived here for a number of years. By my reckoning, perhaps 5 or 6. I have things to take care of back home as well. But, well, I think I shall leave it at that. And it is for the rest of you and this good jury to decide what is to be done, I think, perhaps. But if I may add, she didn't really know what she was doing, I think. And he adds that with the same, still very like conflicted look in his face, and the other side, they're both like by Penny's arms as if they're bodyguards of some sort. But Valerie kind of like rolls her eyes. She doesn't seem to share his feelings entirely, but she doesn't say anything. And as Jurgen finishes speaking, looking again, nods.
Mizell kind of raises a hand and addresses Lucina. Commander, may I ask them each a question?
Very well.
I know it is difficult to address hypothetical situations, but I think some internal reflection may be necessary from each of you in this. By your own accounts, you donated your blood to sustain Penelope over the years, and that, along with the other acts, was consensual, but considering the effects she had on you, whether witting or unwitting, it's hard to say whether that consent would have been granted had you not been impaired. Do you think that you would have consented to donating your blood to sustain her and the other activities had you not been under this spell with her?
They both seem to consider the question, and while they are, like, you can hear some sniffling over the course of both of their accounts. Penny has been gradually more and more devolving into like whimpering and crying a little bit, but you can tell that she's doing her best not to make too much noise. And
Aluna will raise her hand to go after Mizell to ask a question. She will wait.
Okay. Jurgen considers for a moment, and he says, well, as I was saying, it is difficult to gauge, but Penelope here is a very charming young lady, a bit younger than I am, but still. She not just charming from her looks, mind, but she has been very kind and gentle toward us. So, difficult to speak in hypotheticals, but I believe things being as they are, under the right situation, if some conversation was had before, then I might have been interested in. Yes. As for the blood part, well, again, difficult to consider. I am now used to it. At the time that I came to the city, I was certainly not used to that sort of thing, so who knows how that might have affected my decisions, but I believe it is a natural thing, and if I had chosen her to be a romantic partner of sorts, I don't think I would have objected to assisting in her sustenance. Valerie goes, I have a similar opinion, sort of. I mean, I don't usually lay with heads like this too often, but once in a while doesn't hurt. And much like Jürgen over here, I'm not such a tree hugger as he is, of course. She kind of like smiles at him, and it's weird because like well, it's not weird, but
They
it
have
is a
history, but they don't have history.
yes, exactly. Like it's a smile of they've touched on this subject before. It's almost like an inside joke between them, but they both seem to feel a little stiff acting on it. Not as much of a tree hugger as Jürgen over there, but the fact that she's a vampire needs a little blood. Well, a girl has kinks sometimes.
Did you have another question, Michael?
No, that was
Crazy how
all
he
myself.
asked. Oh, okay. I was gonna say if you were gone, I was like crazy how he asked a question, then walked away.
No, I was just trying to find my mute button.
Gotcha. I think Luna will then sort of add in. So, to be clear, hypotheticals aside, you do find the character of Penelope, outside of the charm that her eyes seem to naturally afflict, to be a nice young girl. One that you would have found worthy of spending at least some time with, maybe a night, or along those lines.
Yep. Valerie's like, well, I don't know about that. Like I said, I don't usually deal with airheads too much, but she has a good heart. She says it like it's an insult, but still seems sincere.
When it comes from someone like her, it's like a genuine compliment.
And Jürgen goes, Jürgen more emphatically goes like, oh, I believe so, yes. A bit naive, somewhat childish for her age, perhaps, but she's a good young girl. Again, well, oh my god, my son is probably 20-something. Well, I was going to say, perhaps someone I would want for my son, even, if things were not as they are, but she is older than she looks, so perhaps it's fine?
How does Penelope react to those answers?
She Valerie's was still felt a little hurtful to her. It seems like it doesn't, but she's still crying. But she seems to turn to Jürgen's direction with something a little more, sort of that kind of oh, you mean that? Really? Expression.
I think Luna will add then. So, even without her eyes, Penelope seems to be a charming young lady, worthy of the affection that she seeks. I think it was pretty blatant, but I think Luna said that more for Penelope than she did for any other questioning. I think it's almost a little transparent on its face.
And Penny seems to be taking those words well, and Valerie kind of like looks at you and exhales, and she snaps a finger, and you can see Penny react, starts looking around in a manner that makes you think that perhaps she can't hear as well as she could before. And Valerie looks at you and goes, look, being straight here, I'm not a fan of being manipulated. I'm not a fan of doing things against my will, even if I was enjoying it at the time.
Of course.
But and she squints her eyes a little and looks at the rest of the people in the room. She described the things she went through in a very sanitized manner. But the things that the people of the city did to this woman are foul. I would very much wish for reparations for the losses that I suffered in the city, it's true. But I also think that all of you would owe her some reparations for the stuff that happened to her here. That's all. She snaps her fingers again and Penny goes like, Penny couldn't hear for a second what happened? And Jürgen just he crouches down behind her and does some damage control. Like, no, I think something must have passed here. Nothing to concern yourself about.
I nudge Myzel to look amongst sort of the arbiters. What do you think?
What does he think about what? I didn't hear what you said before that.
She sort of nudges you and sort of looks to like the other arbiters of this sort of trial, and just kind of whispers, "What do you think?"
You know who the most guilty one of all in this whole situation is. She's clearly a victim in all of this as well. But she willingly gave herself over to him, and all of this happened because of that. So she's not entirely blameless either. He manipulated her, this is true, but she's simultaneously a victim and a part of the problem.
Kind of sighs. Looks to Lakina and kind of the others. What sort of judgment are they thinking?
The others are kind of like they're at a few points of the testimony they would have, turned to gossip among themselves, at least a few of them, and after a very unkind stare from Lucina were sort of like stopped and just kept their peace. And Lucina says, I believe it best for them to discuss these things amongst themselves privately, but for what it's worth, as in my position as commander of the guard, the recommended sanction that I have for Penelope is incarceration in a safe spot procured in these premises under the bindings that she is currently placed into.
How does Penelope look at that suggestion, especially the latter part?
She's a little disheartened. She, seems upset that it is being suggested that she's arrested, essentially. But Lucina continues, that is to be a temporary measure until such time as we can have a more effective trial I would also recommend that there are investigations into manners by which we may permit her to control, if she so desires, the abilities that she seems to have been endowed with.
On that note, Commander, may I ask her a question?
You may.
Penelope, now that you understand what influence you've had over these people and some of the hurt it's caused, how do you feel about about your darling? Do you still stand by him and how he's treated you, being that he's treated you well but caused you to unknowingly hurt others? Or do you resent him for what he has caused you to do?
Penny? Resent Darling? No, 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 no. Darling always tried to protect Penny. And he told Penny to stay inside and not go out.
We had detect magic up around. Have we had a detect magic up around her before?
During the ball, yes.
Yeah.
When
Was she at
Mizell was
all
dancing with her.
influenced, or is she just truly smitten with him?
There was no trace of her being under any kind of enchantment magic, although her eyes were clearly magical.
Yeah, no, that's. Oh,
So but I mean, Penny might have hurt people, without knowing. Penny's very sorry about that. But Darling has been the first person that was kind to Penny, and Penny loves him very much.
Mizell kind of crosses his arms a little bit, but doesn't say anything else.
Luna looks like she wants to say so much about that, but doesn't say more.
To which the general store manager, Bart, kind of like raises his hand, kind of motions for him to speak. Okay, lady, sorry. You keep talking about this Darling. I was wondering if we could perhaps get a name, because it kind of feels like it's what we've been trying to get at here, but you're sort of never, you know, could we perhaps? I think it would maybe help your case, even, you know, to give us his name. And Penny immediately like stiffens up and goes like, "Oh, Penny must not tell others Darling's name. It's Penny's." And Lucina turns to him and says, "It is my belief that the Darling she speaks of, which is also the perpetrator of the many incidents that we have been experiencing around Great Helm, is Marco Windranen." And there is like a wave of surprise around the room. Like the subtlest people just sort of like widen their eyes, and some of them like just give like a faint gasp. Sister Catherine at Lucina's side, like in particular, she looks very like wide-eyed and like almost like absent-mindedly like raises a hand as if she's trying to like comfort Lucina in some way. And
I think by comparison to Luna and Mizell probably looked. I won't speak for Mizell, but Luna's very nonplussed.
Yeah, and they're all like, "Oh, wow! Like, what is this true?" etc. And Lucina sort of turns back to Penelope. Are you not at liberty to divulge his identity to me as well? And Penny has a moment, and she goes like, Darling said not to say his name, but Darling said that we shouldn't hurt Lucina, and lying hurts people, so she's trying to like sort of work some kind of mental math in her head, and she eventually arrives at sort of like, well, if Lulu has figured out, then yes, it's true. It is Marco Windren and his darling's name. He's Lulu's dad, which also means that Penny is Lulu's stepmom, sort of, but whatever.
Myself fully face palms at that, like, not like an aggressive motion, but just covers his face, like, oh god, why did she have to go there and make it awkward?
It's not like it could get much more awkward. Honestly, of all like how awkward that actually is, her saying that is probably the least awkward thing that has happened.
Yep. Plenty of other people in the room also have that face of like, we had thought about it for a split second, but you didn't have to say it.
You said it aloud.
Yeah.
There is some commotion, but Lucina kind of like, she doesn't have the fucking gavel to hit on the table, but she does a similar thing, just like on a.
That was an oddly good
on
noise.
wood.
What was that?
Yeah. It was me hitting my table.
Your table? What's on your table? What's that jingling noise?
Oh yeah. There's like a glass of wine and some cups. But she goes, that is relevant to the discussion, but it is not the main topic of our reunion here. We must decide a fate for Penelope. As I said, my recommendation is that she be incarcerated as she is. Although, if the silver handcuffs are maintained, I see no reason for the blindfold.
One final question for Penelope. May I approach?
Yes.
Take the blindfold off her, of Penelope.
Yeah. As you take the blindfold off, her eyes are very like swollen. It's just been crying quite a bit ever since Jurgen and Valerie started speaking. But she looks at you, and the silver at her hands is suppressing the magic, so there's no magical effect on anything. She just looks at you with the big, wide, crimson vampire eyes with the heart-shaped pupils.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Oh, there's more people here than Penny thought.
Yeah. Penelope, can I ask you a question?
Oh, yes?
I know you're darling. Actually, no, she doesn't say that. That'll be a different question. Now that you've heard from Jurgen and from Valerie what your eyes can do, I imagine you haven't really been privy to the effect that it has on others. Would you say that unknowingly, magically charming people, do you regret that that happened to them?
Penny looks a little conflicted as well. She seems to be thinking about it, and she starts stuttering a little bit and goes like, Penny?
You love them, right? So you don't regret. I'm sure you liked the time you spent with them, but aren't you a little upset that they may have not had a full say in it?
Yes, Penny didn't like when Penny didn't have a choice to do things with people or go with people. So Penny thinks that's a bad thing. But Penny also really liked being with them. So Penny. But maybe they wouldn't have liked Penny if the eyes. She just
Kind
kind
of,
of trails off.
kind of fixes her hair and kind of, her eyes are puffy, just sort of gently rubs her cheek. You know, Penelope, if I had come to your party today, no magic eyes, just you and the way you mingled. Yeah, you're a little bit. What Valerie said, you're a bit blunt, maybe a little bit. Uh, maybe a little bit much. But I did think you were kind. And so I didn't enjoy a single moment of hurting you. I think I would have liked you just fine. I'm not everyone, though. And not everyone that you like is going to like you back. And that hurts. But when you find someone that does, and you find someone that stays, it'll mean more. Don't you want that? Someone that will stay. Without having to stay.
But that's what Darling did.
And I would ask you this. Where's Darling now? And why was he so okay with sending us after you? Those are hard questions that you have to think about yourself. And I can't convince you of anything, but Penelope, I promise you. Sometimes people want things from you, and they're willing to feign love to get it. And that hurts the most because it's fake. I have nothing to gain from lying to you.
Roll a persuasion check.
Ugh. I have a spell slot left. I probably wanted to come into this casting enhance ability. Could I have done that before this started?
Sure.
I didn't mention it because we were doing a lot of stuff at the time, but I did have the slot left. I would want to be persuasive for this whole thing if it meant influencing people.
Right.
I don't even know if I have persuasion high enough to do this. Oh wait, that just knocked over the other one to 20. That gave me like a weird hope.
Okay. She doesn't say anything. Just seems to be thoughtful right now.
There's a wonderful woman I know named Ashini. She's a good person to talk to about things like this. Helps you put your thoughts together, see things from different points of view. I don't know how your eyes work right now, if they do them naturally or if it's something you can control, but if it's something that just happens, then you're gonna have to learn how to keep it under control. If it's something you can control, maybe I'll be honest, Penelope, I don't think you should keep these eyes. Because I think you want a real love. And I'm not sure if you can get it with those. But if you can, I'll be so happy for you. So kind of look to everyone else. Please keep everything in mind when you come to your judgment.
Lakina picks up. I have stated my recommendation. Do either of you, she's talking to specifically the both of you, and also motions to Jürgen and Valerie, have any other suggestions of possible sentences to be given to her?
Lizel kind of steps forward and says, someone should always be tried by a jury of their peers, and we are not that. You all have lived in this city for ages, and she is of this city. You are her peers, so it is not within my right to pass judgment. But I would like to offer the recommendation of not going with exile, so long as she possesses those eyes, as they are quite dangerous, and it seems from this incident she has no knowledge, or she has no control over their effects on people. We don't wish for something similar to happen to another city.
And I would wish for counseling, and if signs of improvement show, either with the eyes or otherwise, a further look into her sentence. I think Penelope is as much a product of this city as she is to what happened to these two. Knowingly or not.
Very well. And Valerie just kind of goes like, shrugs, like nothing to add. Jurgen, meanwhile, says, I believe that gentler restraints should be sufficient, possibly. And also, perhaps if this darling of hers is somehow dealt with. Oh god.
Dealt with.
Yes, if perhaps there is a manner of turning around the situation with this darling of hers, it could simplify matters. So, something temporary should suffice. Lukina just nods and then turns to the rest of the people from Grayskull and says, very well. You may all leave to the usual meeting room where you can discuss the sentencing at your leisure. I will give you the time limit of 30 minutes. And,
Lukina's mother present in this meeting?
no, she's not.
Okay.
And almost all of them raise from their seats or just move if they were standing and begin headed to the other room. Sister Catherine doesn't initially. She just like lingers there with a still looking at Lukina with a bit of a concerned face, and Lukina looks down at her. That includes you, Catherine. And she's just, are you sure you're gonna be fine? It kind of, it's a lot. And
I think Luna will actually chime in, coming from Penny. I actually think the Lady Commander and Mizell and I need to have an open discussion about something. So if we could have just a bit of privacy for a moment.
she looks at you and then to her and then... Fine, but I'm gonna be right back, okay? Like, I'm sure it's not gonna take long. She goes up with the rest of the Grayskull members to have the jury deliberation.
As
Akina.
Sister Cat,
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
as Sister Catherine kind of leaves, Mizell turns to Lukina and says, I hope you understand that it was never our desire to withhold any information from you. However, he impressed upon us the understanding that if we revealed his identity to you in any way, horrible things would befall the people of this city. And that's something that we are all trying to avoid. I am even now somewhat concerned that even though we did not reveal his identity, now that it has become known to you, he will still try to enact retribution. But it was never our desire to withhold any information from you.
Understood.
I think, Luna. Well, she agrees with what Mizell asked. It's not what she wants to know. Nakina, you're angry. And I'd like to know in order of what and how much is at us.
persuasion check.
Could I say a little bit more before I do then?
Sure.
I want to be as honest with you as possible now that we can be a bit more open. All of us were uneasy about talking about what we're forbidden to do. We watched something terrifying. The threat was very real. Real threat. If he's anything like Selena from the Wolfwood, who took control of... Sorry, Lilia. The head of the village, half destroyed it. Controlled our bodies through our blood and our veins. Did many terrifying and terrible acts. We didn't want a repeat of the things that happened. So I took no joy in withholding truth from you. I would do it again. But I am still sorry for lying. I'm sorry for grabbing you. I am sorry for my hasty judgment with Penelope, though I still don't think she should have those eyes. I don't think anyone should have anything. Stops herself. I was mad. I am mad at him, at the things that have happened, the secrets we've had to keep. And I'm tired. And I'd like to know what you are feeling, because I am not like you, and I am terrible at reading people, unlike Mizell here, who can tell when I'm just a little bit off. I'll make my persuasion. How's it doing? Let's do. Yes!
Nice.
Literally get out of town.
I fucking call my shit, man.
The fuck? I'm gonna do that next Monday. What the hell?
Just call your shit.
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
Her-
that's aura.
Her expression was still very serious. It becomes less harsh over time. She kind of like huffs a bit, leaning almost like against her great axe helm splitter, which is almost larger than she is. I understand.
You can still be mad, though.
I am bothered by the attitude that one of your companions had. That he would withdraw from helping with the situation that my city is going through. In case your suggestions as to how we should handle Penelope were not followed. It is a professional failing that I am having to hastily rely on civilians to even judge criminals when they should be at this moment sleeping soundly in their homes or partying or doing anything else instead of dealing with a crisis that the military should be dealing with. And yet, even if I must rely on the aid of others, which is something that I take no pride in, I am confided to be the keeper of the law and peace in the city. And although Greathelm has not always been a very welcoming city for people who have unnatural abilities that they have no control over, that is something that my tenure as Lady Commander would see changed if possible. As I have said before, I have given you liberty to act in manners that I would not otherwise recommend when carrying out duties, because I acknowledge that you have not the same responsibility as I do to sticking to proper form, and this is an exceptional situation, so certain protocols can be lifted, but still it is important that my ultimate authority on the handling of cases such as this is respected. I do not wish for my failing in handling this without outside help to be a vulnerability for more lawlessness to be committed.
Akina, do you think you failed somehow?
It is objectively true that my duty is to protect the city, and I have not been able to carry it through without outside assistance.
I think Luna kind of gives her a... I guess it's like a "are you kidding me" kind of look. A lot more playful than the very serious expression she's had, I think, up all this entire night. Akina, and if we're being objective, an entire city being semi-controlled / charmed by a absurdly powerful vampire who's taking control in almost every facet of the city through covert means, and you think it's your personal failing, you on your own, because you have not single-handedly protected the city. Maisel, does that sound objectively right to you?
I agree that there are extraordinary circumstances at play, and no matter how competent one is, and how thoughtful your actions, and how much power you wield within the city, nothing you could have done differently would have been able to stop him. He works in the shadows and wields great power that, unless you know from the beginning exactly what's going on and sit idly by allowing it to happen, could have prevented this.
What I think is objective is we're all trying our best. And trust you and me and Myzel know that even our best sometimes isn't good enough. The Wolfwood worked out, but let us be clear. We lost things that day. Some of it was people, even though we got many back. We also lost things that we can't put a name to. Nothing's perfect, you know. If you're feeling stressed or angry, I want you to tell us. I, in turn, will do the same.
I will ponder these matters, perhaps. I must be a bit more flexible with my analysis of the situation. And as for the matter of not having confided in me, as to my father's doings, I understand your reasonings, although I still find it regrettable.
Like I said,
that such a threat could be made, and I could not do. And I could not be a person of trust in spite of it. But no matter.
We all have the safety of the citizens of your city in mind and at heart. And that is the only reason we kept that information from you.
and like I said, even if we had reasons, I don't mind you being angry. No one likes being lied to. I'd like you to be angry and talking to us, and not angry and being quiet.
I am not good at talking.
Well, I am not good at reading people. So we're gonna have to find a balance somewhere in the middle there.
I will think about that. But the while I ponder on that, you should also remember that people like Penelope are citizens of the city as well. And if I must defend even someone who has wronged others, like her, from needless acts of violence against them. And she looks at you and, like, it's not... she's not being aggressive, but she's being very like affirming her position. And for a brief moment, you see in the back of her eye like this, like her eyes like this icy blue. And there is for just a brief second like a faint golden glow, like something trying to turn on but not fully turning on. She says, I will fight whomever I must to protect their rights.
I understand. What happened with Penny? I guess I just hate the idea of someone like that being so attached to her future. And I made a hasty judgment. She deserves a choice, but
She is not blameless, but overall, in the grand scheme, she's a victim of both him and this city as a whole.
I know we're all busy, but do you think we could schedule time with Ashini to speak with her a bit? I know the world's ending, but
I believe so. And speaking of Ashini, the doctor has said that perhaps if she had access to analyzing the other vampire's eyes, the one from the sanatorium, there may be ways of reverting what has been done to the inmates there, the surviving ones.
that's a relief.
And before she can converse more, the jury, like, there's some rumbling downstairs and they begin going down. Sister Catherine, like, ahead of all of them, she immediately like just goes to Lakina's side, like looks. It seems like her concern like softens a little bit. She's looks at all of you and she goes like, seems like the conversation went well.
We're coming to understanding with one another. I'm trying to figure out how to make Lakina talk more.
Has Penelope reacted at all while we're having this conversation? Because I imagine we're still within her earshot.
Yeah,
I feel like we were talking. I don't feel like we were talking right next to Penelope, like super. I feel like we were having a discussion, probably just a little to ourselves. I don't know how much she was listening.
Yeah, but she's like in
I'll
the
let-
room.
I'll let you just. Yeah, I was like, I'll let you decide how much she hears. But
In
I
the
don't feel like
room
we were
and has the senses of a vampire.
dulled by
she's-
the silver things handcuffs.
She's kind of like looking at you guys with a sort of like, oh, fascinated, you know. Oh, what an interesting, story. Wow, so much drama on her face, but she doesn't seem like she has like a lot of thoughts. She's not stupid, y'all. I promise.
Valerie wasn't wrong, but she
I
was.
feel like there's like a recognition of if she draws attention to herself, she will miss out on this gossip.
It's a little bit of that, yes.
And if you like the moment of like if you draw attention to yourself, people will remember you're here and kick you out. But if you're just silent, you can be like, sips tea.
I kind of like the idea that she had to resist the urge to verbally go, "Oh," like in the middle of certain times of like, "Oh."
I mean, she's so socially smart, book
Yes,
smart.
But
Book
she's
who?
just
Don't know her.
looking at you guys like, she has like an oddly proud look at Lucina, like this It's this weird, like it's just a weird way that she's looking at Lakina like, oh, good. She sold her, you know.
Oh, she's making friends.
Yes, kind of like that. And then the rest of the jury comes down, and let me. Well, since I was busy talking, I didn't get to think about it as much. But let me just
My persuasion check
quickly
being part of it.
quickly reckon in my head like what their votes would have been like individually.
Do me and my Zell get votes?
No, only the jury gets votes, which is the 6 people from the.
It feels
from Grayskull who
racist,
win.
but I can't explain why.
What the fuck?
My-
You're not citizens.
I just said it feels racist. I didn't say it was racist.
I mean, Mizell
And when I say
basically
racist, I don't actually mean racist.
Mizell basically already said he would have abstained anyway, even if they'd been given votes.
Yeah, but you weren't.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
I like in the same way of just like I use racist for things that inconvenience me. I hope you understand this. Like when I see
I mean, that's the
folks doing-
same thing of like calling something homophobia when it's not homophobia, but it's just inconveniencing you.
Yeah, like someone asked me to do something, like a very minor thing, like close a door that was 10 feet away. I'd be like, this is slavery.
Saying it to say it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hyperbolizing.
Sister Catherine will then sort of like speak up as representative of the jury and say, well, it was not a unanimous decision, but the jury has decided for the defendant, Penelope, no last name, I suppose, to be incarcerated under provisory manner. Mr. Gundir here has volunteered, she motions toward Beowulf Gundir, the older Jotun gentleman, to be her keeper and watch over her at all times. We have elected a few places where she could be kept, although we acknowledge that neither of them are completely safe. However, since Mr. Gundir has personally volunteered, we have proposed that she could be kept at the shrine that he has at the back of his blacksmithing store, where she may not only be kept from other civilians, but also experience a simpler and a simple life of labor that might do her some justice, in Mr. Gundir's own words. She is to not be blindfolded as long as the silver handcuffs are kept on at all costs. We determined that Dr. Ashini is to visit her at her earliest convenience to evaluate her, and that a study of her eyes is conducted at our earliest possible convenience, so that we may investigate means of reintegrating her into society. However, although we acknowledge that our decision is only temporary until until a proper judge can be released from the spell that has been afflicting the city, we also believe that her incarceration should last for an amount of time that suffices to atone for the crimes committed. Even if they were not committed with intent. And then Bart kind of like, ahem! And she goes, oh, yes, and if there are any assets to her name that are worth money, those should be seized and provided as reparation for the victims. Do we really need to? Whatever. Oh, that is the decision of the jury. Lugina nods and says, then, under my authority as Lady Commander of the Guard, I will sanction that decision. We will transfer Penelope come tomorrow evening. For now, she is to be kept hidden away in this room, in this establishment. For the hour is already quite early, and if we perform the transfer right now, we are at risk of bodily harm to the defendant. With this matter being solved, members of the Grace Code that wish to return to your houses and rest, you are welcome to do so. At her emotion, most of them begin to leave, sort of like a relief over their faces. Not all of them seem happy with the decision, or the entirety of it, but...
Which ones name them?
Bart seems a little upset. He seems to think the punishment was a little bit too light. Miss von Lumhart as well, the jewelry store owner, seems a little peeved. Most of the others seem fine though, especially Sister Catherine and Mr. Gondir, the other priest. Like they almost like keep an eye on the others. Like, yep, don't complain, keep moving along.
Not I trust Sister Catherine's judgment, but just to know, the other priest guy, he's on the up, and he feels like an up and up type of cool dude, right? Feels like a Jurgen type.
Jurgen is a pretty warm guy. This guy is like rough around the edges a lot. Like he has a very
warm internally, because those are warm guys too sometimes.
He doesn't. Yeah. Well, you haven't interacted with him enough to draw those conclusions, I feel like. But he has a very stern countenance, and he seems very like that very dutiful kind of guy.
He seems principled.
Yes.
In like a real way. Okay.
Yes.
Right,
he lingers here as well. Kind of like decides to already keep his start his duties of keeping watch over Penelope. And Lucina turns to you. I believe this matter is settled now. I am told the other two will remain sleeping until such time as we are ready to wake them up.
Yes.
Rala Sokmali and her friend have been provided for upstairs, and all other matters seem to be cared for. Given the circumstances, I shall remain here as well for whatever is left of the night. But you all are dismissed. You may return to your homes if you wish.
Regarding Rala Salkmali and her friend, may I have you and Sister Catherine for a moment? Sort of lead them to where Rala and Kayla are, probably like outside of Lilia. I'd also like to update Lilia on what's happened.
Huh?
Yeah. Lilia, the sleepiest guard dog in history.
I'm not drilling. Nope, that was water. I was just drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
Myself kind of like raises a slight eyebrow as you drag those two off. Does he get any kind of sense of like why you've excluded him here?
Hmm. It's a good question.
He doesn't argue about it, but he's a little confused and about it.
I mean, Aluna is not a person to really like sort of mince words typically. So I think I don't know, like with your passive, what's your passive insight? Like 22 or something like that?
Inside, where'd it go? 23.
23. It's not like she's lying or anything. I think she just sort of has the demeanor of like there's something she wants to check. Or sort of like there seems to be there's something that needs to be addressed, but like she isn't sure. There's like a sort of like an unsure sort of energy of it. Like she's not sure how important it is really. Yeah, I think unless you're like really like looking at her and like considering the situation, like you only get the sense of like there's something she wants to like do, but like she isn't sure if there's like a really big importance to it in actuality.
Hmm.
I'll let you do with that as you will.
He doesn't argue and kind of turns towards the would-be jailer to have a conversation with him after you finish your thing.
Yeah. I will say, you said twice. I think mainly you know that Luna wouldn't hide any. I think just sort of off vibes, like she wouldn't tell you something. She wouldn't hide anything to you. She didn't think how to say. I don't think you'd ever get the sense that Luna would ever vehemently hide anything from you.
And that's why he's not objecting. He trusts in your judgment of why you're doing it.
Yeah.
He also
Well,
acknowledges that you're probably not super happy with him right now.
yeah, it's kind of putting some things on the back burner, but like, I have a lot of children to deal with. Not that you're one of my children, but quite literally, I have like 2 children to do.
Okay, Lakina and Sister Catherine both accompany you to the door of Rolla's bedroom, and you quickly update Lily on everything that happened with the judgment.
So, all things considered, I think it's pretty good so far. Hopefully better.
I mean, that seems like a pretty reasonable resolution.
Yeah. Maybe if we have time after all this, we go see her a bit. I think she's someone that could use some friends.
Yeah. I got that feeling from her.
I may,
I mean, I can understand. I feel like we have a interesting interesting stories to tell.
Oh, and also, kind of like, I sort of kind of like a little bit like, it's like very awkwardly. Kino told everyone about you know who and figured it out herself. I'm pretty sure you might have caught that up earlier, but she straight up said it, so everyone knows.
Okay.
I don't know how
Oh,
well it's
thank
gonna
God.
go over.
Oh, thank God. Oh, I can finally stop lying.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that because Keena's just real smart that that goes over well, but we'll deal with that as it comes.
Well, was there anything you guys needed me for?
Yes, sorry, I wanted to Lilia. I have. Okay. Sister Catherine, what do you know about devils?
She sort of like widens her eyes, kind of like, oh, not a question I was expecting to be asked right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, sorry.
Well, teachings at the temple, we're very, very wary of them. I mean, what with all the stuff that went down on the tyranny just a century ago, devils are very anti-natural, prey on people's fears.
Yeah.
Tiamat, the enemy of all mortal kind. Well, that kind of thing.
Right. So on the way here, and kind of looks at Lucina. It's not sheepish. It's like it's a weird sort of combination of just like didn't. Me and Lucina weren't very talkative on the way here, so I couldn't really bring up this at the moment. And I'm still honestly not sure. That's why I want your assistance. I caught a very faint smell of brimstone from Kayla. And it's difficult to ascertain if it was her or, we had just finished fighting. You saw the naked red himbo man there, sorcerer that exploded with flames and shot at us more than once, so maybe she got the faint sort of embers of that. But my senses are very sharp, as are Lilia's. And I wonder if you could cast Detect Good and Evil here and check up on them quickly.
Oh, all right. Ooh. Well, thankfully I kind of have that spell just always because of, the ongoing situation, so.
Yeah, no, we're in odd times.
But, all right.
And Luna kind of gives Lucina a look of like, sorry I didn't tell you, but you were kind of mad at me.
Just gotta open this door just a little bit. She pushes the door a bit open. It like creaks through, and you see like the very comfortable bedroom with beds for both Rala and Kayla. They are both sleeping soundly, like the good children that they are.
Mm-hmm. That's for both of them too. That.
And Sister Catherine quickly traces some sigils in the air and speaks, mutters some arcane, commands in an ancient draconic form. And the medallion at her neck that seems a little bit too large for her size, for a brief moment, like grows like orange and slightly hot to the touch, as her eyes take on this sort of orange tinge as well. And as she does, she very quickly steps back outside and closes the door and looks back at you with a slightly more alarmed look on her face and says, "The child's a demon."
Okay. You see, I think Leah caught it earlier, Luna's expression is, God, it's so visibly crestfallen, sort of upset and
Are there
despaired.
like neutral devils or like not truly evil devils?
You can see Sister Catherine is fully just like tweaking. Like she just like grabs Lucina by the arm and goes like, Lucina, the kid's a demon. The kid is a demon. A demon. The kid is a demon. Looks like a kid, but it's a demon. And Lucina, like a bit of sweat running down her face, like not expecting this kind of behavior. She goes like, I'm Catherine. We will handle it. Do not be alarmed. And Catherine just keeps going, like increasingly more distressed. Like, the kid is a demon. A demon.
Starts pulling her cloak further and further from the door as her voice just gets louder and louder.
If it makes you feel better, we've fought and defeated demons, a lot of them.
Oh,
I mean, you
cool.
were with us in the graveyard. Fought one there.
Yeah, but they like what? Like,
I'll be honest with you, Catherine. I know you're experiencing a lot right now. The fact that she looks like a child and is actually a demon is actually the very smallest part of my worries right now. I had to explain to a young child that I may have to kill her best friend, and I'm sort of processing that in the moment. So I'm sorry you're having you're feeling this right now.
We may have
I
to
am
ask you
also
to
not in a great.
compartmentalize yourself for a minute.
I'm also not in a great moment right now.
and then Catherine tries to speak. Lucina like puts a hand on her shoulder. Goes like, Catherine, it'll be fine. She just kind of like keeps it in, like bottles it up.
You know, at moments like this, I'm really thankful you're like this, Lucina.
We are all... There is nothing we can do about this right now.
We're all one within the iris.
We have gone through a great many challenges today. And all of you are, I imagine, very exhausted.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I could probably go for another scrap.
For now, the child is here, and she might not know that we know. I believe perhaps we have reached the limit to which we can handle matters today.
And I told Lilia this as well, if it comes down to taking care of this in a violent way, be sure to inform me and make sure I'm the one to do it. She looks at Lilia, Rala, that is, as a friend, and she looks up to you. So, if there's a person she can take issue with, it'd be me. It's for the best.
Understood.
Forget to give Rala a choice in this too.
Well, if she doesn't believe us, Lilia.
I don't know how we're gonna tell her, but we gotta try and let her. She deserves to have agency in this decision.
You're right. I don't know what to do. And I need to find Noah.
I must revise the legal books. Saying this very vague statement, looking at kind of...
Just like, please get me out of here. I would love to leave.
Looking as...
I need to go wash my hair.
Catherine goes like, I am gonna spend the night here as well. Let's just get ourselves settled and, goes like, yes.
I think Aluna will prestidigitate everyone here, perfectly clean.
Yeah. But we're hopping back for a moment to the ground floor. Myzel, you wanted to ask something of the priest?
Yeah, Mizell was just gonna kind of have a chat with him about his prisoner, I guess. He'll just kind of say to him, "You should be careful when guarding her. If you know all of the town is under her darling's spell, and if any one of them were to interact with her, they might try to free her in some way. Based on his attitude and interactions with us, I doubt he will directly try to free her, but if he still cares at all, might try something to influence someone or otherwise cause her to be freed. Something else you may have to figure out with the Lady Commander is nourishment for her, since obviously she's a vampire."
Yeah, well, as for the reinforcements bit, I have been considering this, but I may not be much, but I am capable of handling a few ruffians. As for nourishment, it might not please me, but I can provide her of my own body as well if need be. To which Penny, who's like sort of off in the corner, she kind of like, very like, can I talk?
I'm gonna kill
Mizell kind of
Marcus.
looks over and is just like, "I don't have any." It kind of gives so what's his name, the priest again?
Beowulf Gundyr.
Okay. Yeah, Mizell gives him a look like, "I don't care if she speaks. She's
Gundyr,
your problem now."
yeah, Gundyr goes like, yes, child. And she goes, oh, well, two things. She says, and she starts like, she's handcuffed on to like on a chair, and she starts like hopping her chair forward, like to approach you guys, and she's really fucking strong. So like it scrapes the floor and kind of like at risk of breaking the chair, but it seems like she's not realizing she could just break the chair. She's like, oh, first, so Darling said that if they came for Penny, and they Penny, and now Penny thinks they mean you guys. If they came for Penny, then maybe they would kill Penny, but maybe they wouldn't. And Darling said that if they didn't, then Penny should be a good girl, and not well, and act like if Penny had died.
What?
Well, Penny should not try to escape or get help or people come for Penny. Darling said something like once a character is out of the play, it's boring for them to come back.
This mother.
Myzel
LOL.
actually does full on slap his forehead with that one, and just like I can't. I know he said that for a fact, and I hate him even more for it.
So Penny thinks you don't have to worry about people coming for Penny, maybe because Darling doesn't think Penny should be there if Penny was defeated. If that makes sense. Oh, and the other thing, Mr. Ferryman?
He kind of raises his eyebrow at her.
There is a thing that Penny is supposed to deliver to you if Penny is defeated as well. And Penny just remembered that.
I had been meaning to ask you about that.
Well, Penny is... She looks down and like she's handcuffed. Well, you're going to have to get it.
I'm capable of that. Where is it?
It's between my titties.
I knew it. I knew he was gonna do this.
I'm not capable of that.
I want to know. I'm not there, but I just need for theater. Does homeboy, is he also like, nope, I'm not doing that either, or is he like, I guess?
The priest?
Yeah. Is he also like, nope?
If Myzel looks really reluctant to do it, he looks at him like, I mean, if you can't, I can do it.
Myzel kind of just snaps his fingers, and a mage hand appears.
Okay, a mage hand appears and squeezes itself between Penny's voluptuous bazongas.
All right, time to look up the weight of a breast. How much can a mage hand hold?
Oh my god.
That's actually a question. She has pretty huge boobs.
I do have pretty big tits.
Yeah.
Let's see, let me go to the kitchen scale here.
They're very massive bazongas,
How
all things
heavy
considered.
is it?
No, guys, it's fine. I'm not gonna force my boy to.
No,
No. This is
was
more
for
about
lulz.
science. An F
This
cup is about
is
3 pounds, by the way.
so
An F
good.
cup.
I don't know how
What does
much.
the F stand for? Fat? Isn't mage hand like
Yeah.
5 or 10 pounds?
It's for my fat titties.
Like
It's for
F cup is
fat
like
titties.
1.36 kilograms for. I
Yeah,
think
the
that's
hand
conversion.
can't carry more than 10 pounds, so it can't carry. I think it can carry Penny's titties.
Woof. Do we
And it's
know
not
for sure
trying to
though?
carry them.
It has to lift them.
No, it just
Has
has
to
to
move
squeeze
them
it. Like
aside.
it's between the boobs. It doesn't have to like lift the boobs. It just has to like squeeze between them and then retrieve it. Like they don't have to fully lift the boobs.
Somehow more lewd. There's like an
He's-
invisible force parts.
Yeah.
boobs.
Shit,
Notably, it's not invisible because he's not a rogue.
Oh,
yeah.
true.
It's
Sorry, I forgot
uh,
my lifestyle.
it's just a hand sticking in there, and Penny goes like,
Myzel is holding
So
the
help me, I
entire
will
weight of a
cast silence
generation
on her.
in his hand.
we all hear this from upstairs. Like, what?
okay, so yeah, okay, yeah. Mr. Gunder gives you a look of like, oh, so that's the kind of stuff you're into. Anyway,
Absolute glare.
you retrieve a few sheets of paper from Penny's titties, the extra dimensional pocket of Penny's titties. You know that's actually a thing in Fate. Like, there's a character that has literally like a fucking bag of holding in her tits. Anyway,
Who is this?
Where do you think
It's
Raven's
Passion Lip.
Bulbasaur comes from?
Passion
Oh
Lips.
my god.
Passion Lips boobs are like a void space that it can store like an unlimited amount of things. Anyway.
Unreal.
Okay, so there are 3 journal entries left. You're going to roll right now a d6, and that will determine which, if you're going to get 1 or 2 stacks of paper, and which. Okay, so you get 2 stacks of paper, number 5 and number 6.
Okay.
I'm going to show both of them. Configure ownership. Observer, I believe. Yes.
God, I wish Noah was here right now, because then Mizell could trick him into holding them.
Wait.
The boobs?
Did it show all of them?
No, the papers.
Trick
I don't
Noah
know.
into holding the boobs.
I think it's still only showing the first 3, which were the ones we originally had access to.
Okay.
Yeah,
then I'm
that's
gonna
what I think.
show it number. Should be showing the only. Right?
Yep. One about Lucina.
Yes, and then here.
Julius!
Caesar.
Yes.
True.
Missing just
True.
missing just one now. You can. How are we looking on time, fellas? You want to read this next session or right now?
I don't know if I can't not read this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
read
think
by
I have to
myself
read
if
it
I
now.
don't read aloud.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
We can.
Yeah, I think Mizell will go find the 2 girls after that and say, "Look what I found in her titties."
Yeah, just summon Noah with like some sort of unseen force because he's got to be here for this. Anyway, you can read this in whatever manner you like. Take turns. I don't care.
Yeah. Who wants to start? We'll take turns.
I'm trying to think of the most scumbag voice I can. I'm gonna kill Marcos so bad. I want you to know this.
Wait, hold on. What's the princess voice?
Is it actually titled
Wow.
Lucina?
Hmm?
Is it actually titled Lucina?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
In that case, Mizell would kind of like say mentally to Lucina, in the interests of clarity, we have been finding some of his journal entries. If you're interested, you may read them with us. We just got 2 more, and it seems one of them concerns you.
She very much she was getting ready for nappies, and then she immediately stops and goes like, "Yes."
Do I see like the change of her demeanor as we're just coming off the heels of this demon? This child is a demon.
Yeah. But it seems like this just got her full attention now. She's like, "Oh, this is something I.
Nikina, there's
This
something
is a
wrong.
canon event." No, it's fine. Just let me read.
What?
Let
We're
me
not
read.
there. This was not what I.
No. This is when Mizell comes and finds you 2.
Oh, you come and
And
find us. Okay,
I'm
got you.
assuming. Yeah.
I thought you were
Mizell
by
has
yourself and you mentally commanded her, and that she was just like telling me with information I didn't have yet. I was just like,
No.
"What are you talking about?"
No, yeah.
Mizell came to find you and Lilia, and if Lucina had already left, then he would have sent her that mental message.
Lucina's not leaving. She's sleeping here for the night.
Well, no. I mean, like, went off to her whatever room.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, she stays to read together with you.
I think we do we read with the door open? I don't think I want
No.
Rawl in the room with the demon by herself
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh well.
I mean, it's just to read this, and then someone can go back to the door.
Yes, we'll figure the specifics of how this is reading, this is being read, and how Noah is going to eventually read this as well later. But for now, let's just go
I
through.
can't read.
My wedding with Vanessa happened on a beautiful winter afternoon at the Church of Hestia that she so likes to frequent. I frequently worried a bit that the gods would smite me down on the spot for daring to step foot into such a place, but it was a simple, lovely ceremony. We were happy together, or at least I like to think so.
I could not.
Oh, you can go ahead. Yeah, we'll popcorn read.
I cannot dare to tell her of my true nature. The mere thought of looking at me with disgust filled me with a dread that was utterly unbearable. Nothing had ever scared me so. With a bit of magic, it was simple enough to force my body to mimic a human's physiology, from the beating of the heart to the warmth of the skin. However, should we have a child together, the baby would most certainly carry certain traits that would betray my true nature. Of course, it would be simple enough to convince Vanessa otherwise my eyes, but I swore to never use my magic on her. Oh, don't do this. You fuck. You fucking fuck. I hate Chinaka.
Next.
As a result, we never had intercourse proper, which is not to say we did not perform sexual acts, but I always held back from anything with the slightest chance of pregnancy. This did not go unnoticed by her either, which I suspect is why we eventually grew somewhat distant. I know not the circumstances of what happened, but of course, a woman continues to have needs. Vanessa became pregnant with a child that was not mine. To say that my thoughts were conflicted is an understatement. I had distanced myself from my wife to hide my secret, and I could not blame her for seeking another man's embrace. And yet, I was of half a mind to hunt him down and tear the heart from his chest. In fact, perhaps I have done just that and do not remember it. But as for the child, I do not know why, but I felt love for the child as if she were my own. We named her Lucina, a
Wait,
draconic
let someone
word.
else have the turn.
Oh, true. My bad.
My
That
guy
doesn't know
just went
what
off.
reading
I
is.
just my brain just went on full on autopilot. Somebody else should have interrupted me.
I
Yeah.
tried twice.
Oh,
was-
I did not
was
even
about to
hear
try,
you.
Really.
No,
I did not even hear you.
Me and
Yeah, I
Tonka
did-
both
I
were
didn't.
simultaneously.
No,
I was
didn't
like, you
hear
know
either.
what? I was like, no, what? That was a short paragraph. Let him finish the
Yeah,
second one.
that's-
And then you kept going. I was
Let him
like,
go-
okay,
let him
Hey,
buddy.
whoa.
Hey, next
Uh,
person.
Does anyone else want? Or I can go again, or anyone else?
I guess it's the three of
I
us.
don't-
Unless
Okay,
I don't
yeah,
want
that's fine.
to.
Well, the others can read as well if they wish. Like we can just do this.
Be involved.
Above
Nico
table, yeah.
said that he wasn't. That's why I didn't bother.
No, as in I can't. No, I can't read anyway. Sadness.
We named her Lucina, the draconic word for light, for she and her mother were the only two things in this world that had made this wretched creature feel light's warmth for the first time, this thing that poets talk about so much. For a time I cherished and cared for her, though I could feel Vanessa's look of shame whenever she looked at our daughter's evident Lagoose features, which could not have come from either of us.
But it could not last. Vanessa was sharp, and Lucina's eyes had an even sharper edge to them. If I was around them much, they would surely find me out. My daughter would see me for the abomination I had become, and reject all notion of me as her father. This could not come to pass. I once again distanced myself from my family, observing them from afar. Slowly I returned to my usual lifestyle. Now I leave every tavern, and a lover to many women. None of them I have any feelings for. Some of these lovers, my favorites, I even turned into lesser vampires, shared my power with them. For perhaps, if I could fulfill the promise of the lunar ascendancy, there was yet hope for me.
Do we love him now?
No, I hate
No.
him more.
I had a very present father. No. Not good enough.
Briefly speaking.
Yes.
Am I
Also a high standard.
We got another one.
Number 6, Julius.
You start. Run on sentence, man. That's you, Kevin.
On Vimblum. On
He
Vimblum.
feels- he
My guy
feels like
read one too many paragraphs and decided he wasn't gonna read anymore.
Yeah.
he got silenced and
Stricken.
really just left.
I forgot my mic was muted.
Oh my god.
he sealed himself away.
Exactly.
He went
My
into
power
his
was
tomb
too
of silence.
powerful.
Real Superman about it for a second there. It was fun.
From the shadows, I watched my daughter grow. Lucina had to deal with much stigma of being a bastard child, and whenever she was harassed for it, I felt a burning need to delicerate the offender. A need which I am proud to report I indulged no more than once a year. Regardless, her path was a difficult one. I do not know why, but she also chose to enter the military. I did not do anything to help her, for I did not wish to soil her achievement. My brilliant daughter rose to the highest station in the city, the youngest in centuries, all on her own. I could not be prouder.
In the meanwhile, I met a priest called Julius, a saintly man as far as anyone was concerned, but I could smell a rotten stench in his heart immediately. Not only that, but my sharper vampiric senses could see it in his belongings. Advanced pieces of mechoarcanism, an exile from my own city. Perhaps he could have some use to me.
I confronted Julius, revealing my true nature to him. I dared not mess with his mind, for his implements made that more difficult than the usual, and I did not wish to inhibit his intellect. I wanted him to aid me with transcending the boundaries of my form, fulfill my purpose as Third Seeker. With the perfected vampire form, perhaps Vanessa and Lucina would not find it too abhorrent to join me in vampirism.
Jesus.
No, Julius.
Oh, true. Julius accepted to aid me, but he required a price. 3 of my women as his personal slaves. Sick bastard.
Want to
He
talk?
He didn't tell me what he was going to do with them, but I know the look in his eye. I granted his wish, though the girls are ready to rip his throat as soon as he expresses intention of betraying me. We'll also need to promote him to head of the congregation, but murdering the current father is no issue for me.
His plan is to put all of the citizens into some sort of spell, channeling my eyes powers through Menfina. Once that's done, we're going to funnel both the citizens' prayers and the lover's moon's own power into myself, which according to him should elevate me in some way. I don't know the specific, but it will require many resources and complex machinery. We'll need a few years to finish this.
We finally uncovered the plot!
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
That certainly explains a lot. All those machines we found.
And that Julius really is in on it.
Not only willing, but a mastermind.
Well, regardless of what we're going to do about him, we're going to have to do it after a night of sleep.
How do we explain this to Sister Catherine?
We did tell her we had suspicions.
Yes, but she wasn't exactly... To hear suspicions and to know guilt are 2 different things. The truth is often a painful thing. And I need to find Noah.
Noah seemed like he needed some time to himself. I trust that he'll come back to us.
Selfishly, no offense, Maisel, I don't care. I want to be there for him. Please keep an eye on Rala. I'm gonna find him. And Elena's gonna go out, try to find Noah.
Yep, Lily's going to come help.
All right.
If Mazel's been replaced as guard.
I'm told to keep an eye on Rala, and I don't even know why.
Yep.
Um,
Sometimes
As
you just got
our-
to trust your friends.
Uh-huh.
as our final moment for the evening, then before we call the session, up on over on the Great Helm Wall, across the few hours that all of this talking and judging and trial and confessions happening have been occurring, has Noah been doing anything in particular aside from walking and reflecting?
Honestly, no. It's been a lot of thinking. Stopping to stare out into the snow, then walking again. Thinking.
Okay. Then that is where we're going to leave it off for today.
At
It
around
has
what time
been-
would it be?
Right now,
It's way too late.
very near to
4 a.m.
dawn. No, it was already near 3 a.m. when you guys like begin stuff. Like got to the house and started talking. Right now it would already be like nearly 5.
Yeesh.
It's gonna be so emotional when she sees you. It's so upset.
Okay, but that is it for today. Thank you for coming. Lovely follow-up to a very eventful session. Some things have
And we're
cooled
not
off.
going home, so Marco can't confront us.
Do you just expect him to be there every time now?
Actually, I have a way to prevent it. I just have to get home and do it.
Just
Well,
like
actually,
just like every time you come home, he's there
No.
with a different brand of wine or something.
Sorry, we're not about to disregard that. I don't like you, Idol. I don't.
That's the daily. That's the daily
don't-
roll.
I don't like
It's
that
the
you
daily roll, yeah.
rolled privately and just didn't say a word. I don't like that you were just not gonna say anything. You're just gonna roll.
Well, I mean, just in case it changes what Taka has in mind for next week.
You have me stressing like a mother over a fictional character. Do you understand this?
I'm sorry?
Yes. Yes.
True mother hen.
God.
I got something else actually. Do you guys want to end the session chill? Or do you want...
It's if we're gonna do something else, I need to go pee real quick. I was holding because I thought session was gonna end.
No, it's really quick. I'm just asking if you would like us to end on something or start.
On a cliffhanger.
Yes.
The curiosity in my brain says, do the thing, do it.
Okay. So who's keeping watch of the door of Ralla's bedroom?
Myself would be. He doesn't need sleep.
Okay. As you are looking, you were watching over the door essentially, right? Like it's closed. Their kids are sleeping.
No, I think we left the door ajar.
Ajar?
Yeah, like slightly opened so that like they could keep an eye on and the inside, but were being quiet as they read Marco's letter.
Okay. As you are observing like around, like you're not looking at the same direction like 100% of the time, right? Like sometimes you will look in other directions. The door that is behind you, like opposite to where Ralla and Kayla are, you look at it for a moment and it looks different than it was before. Before it was the simple like wooden door, just like normal tavern door, and now you turn and see a door made of solid gold with the doorway and the fittings of it are this dark, very dark wood, like a mahogany almost, and the door itself is made of like several solid gold plates, very elegant looking. It's not gaudy, it doesn't like shine, but it is quite impressive. Make a will saving throw, please.
What?
Oh my god.
It's -1. Or do you have it put in there already?
That's already integrated as the -1.
Okay.
You want to do anything to that saving throw, or is that the final number?
I don't know if I have anything I can do because it's a saving throw. I'll double check. But I wouldn't have had Intellect Fortress going right now. I was not aware there might be any threat.
True.
I wouldn't have any spells going. Double checking features. If it's a charm, I think I'm either immune or resistant because of Fae.
The charm.
Nothing changes in that regard.
Does it signify?
Okay.
So no other.
No, well, I think that's all I got.
Okay. You suddenly catch this door before you, and this is a very, very interesting door. It's a fascinating door. It's a door that holds so much for your future, even. You're quite sure that most of the things in this life that you are looking for, most of the things that are should be yours rightly in your future are just behind that door. Now, you're not a money-oriented man, or the people of the fairy lands don't even care about that kind of material possession, right? Even though you have been living in the material plane for so long, you might actually be more human than fairy. You still don't have that much of an attachment to money. No, but that's not the kind of thing you will find behind this door. You will find more profound things related to your objectives, things you yearn for, the things you have been desiring once all of this bother with vampires and investigations and everything else done. What you wish for the most just might be behind that door. What do you do?
Huh. I think to some degree, Mizell is fairly aware, like, that things, like, even if everything he wants is behind that door, that many things are often too good to be true. And if he tried to take a shortcut to just get everything he wants instantaneously, it wouldn't satisfy him. And so I think he would try and resist the door's pull.
Right. You think all of that because you are a very process-oriented individual. Things are not just about the result, they're about the journey, the work it takes to get there, the things you learn, the things you lose, the things that happen to you and change who you are as a person. And as you are contemplating all of these things, you have taken 3 steps toward the door. It is a very, very alluring door. And now that you think about it, process is good, but what's to say it's not behind there either? What's to say it's not the adventure of a lifetime, journeys and friends to be met?
And if he thinks about, like, his life as an investigator, he's mulling, he was already, as he was guarding this, mulling over the note that Marco left us, and is disappointed and upset at having the answer just handed to him. He's glad that they know what's going on now, so that it can be that they can work harder to prevent it, but he kind of wishes that he had been the one to figure it out, and is upset about the answer being handed to him kind of on a silver platter. It plays into this idea of shortcuts, and right now I think he's trying to also think about that and resist, no shortcuts, get there through your own hard work.
Precisely. The merit that comes with honest work, a noble endeavor, something that not many people have in the modern world, where people are just worried about having the things and not about the work that lies before getting them. You abhor getting handed things on a silver platter, even if a room was full with stacks of Marco's notes and all of the mysteries about his own secrets and the beyond, you wouldn't really be inclined to getting them. It is a very, very ethical way to approach your work. And your hand is on the door's handle. It is a very attractive door. You find that there is really nothing else to be done for all of the things you see in your future. Because unfortunately, they're nowhere else in the world right now. All of them are behind the door that you open right now. And we're gonna pick that back up next week.
Can't leave anyone alone.
What the fuck?
Can't leave anyone alone.
Don't you fucking touch Noah next session. Leave me the fuck alone. I've been thinking. Do not bother me. Jesus fucking Christ.
I love how, like, Iluna and Lilia leave to pick up one lost child, and then they leave someone else to watch over the second lost child, and then the guy who was watching becomes the third lost child.
Is Lady Catherine at least here? Or did she go home?
Oh, they are here. Lucina and Sister Catherine are here.
Alright.
God.
Good enough.
God.
I'll have
Alright.
to cope.
Good.
That's too goddamn funny.
Yeah, we don't have to start that with
I
that
can't
next
believe we're
session.
gonna extend this campaign by having a Feywild arc.
Wait, what?
She's being coy.
I'm being facetious.
Yeah. Obviously it's not a Feywild arc. It's a Hell arc.
You're so right.
Mini campaign, y'all.
Let's go back to Avernus.
And he looks at us sideways and we say we're just not gonna let you finish DMing. We're just gonna keep going.
Yep.
And he opens up
You're trapped here
magical
with us forever.
magical gold doors that have all your desires behind them. What does that even mean? I don't know. We already had a thing to do. We already had it. Let that be clear. Father Julius in the church is a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Oh, it's a whole
It's
can of
just like-
worms, yes.
What about this door?
It's a really
That's-
good door, though.
That's what Dawkins said.
Mahogany.
That's what Dawkins said. He was just like, you know what? I given them a whole thing to do. But what if I gave another door?
Hey, I am not the one who brought this upon us, okay?
Who did? Am I supposed to blame Idol? Am I blaming Idol? Who am I blaming?
No.
Point the finger.
It was someone. I'm not saying who. You will figure it out eventually.
Nah, who am I? I want to know who I want to blame.
But it's not my fault. It's just not my fault. I'm doing what I have to do here.
I have put speculations inside my private Discord server of what's happening. I do this regularly when I have some fucking crackpot theory. I'm just like, I put this down. So if I'm ever right, I can screenshot this and be like, haha.
Have you been right?
No. Yet.
I'm not. I put my theory in about Kayla. She might be a demon, or I think she might be a fiend. I don't know. You haven't introduced like fiends as a thing yet as a concept, but like maybe that's a thing. I don't know. You're a Chainsaw Man lover. I know your brain. It would be fun to have fiends around.
Perhaps. We'll see. You'll have to have some finagling to find out about that. Or you could just ask her, you know.
If I was right, what do I get?
Well, if you're right, I will think of something.
Hey, nice. See how
You
you thought
also
about it for a
haven't-
second,
you
guys?
also
That means I might
haven't-
be kind of right.
You also haven't divined for me the inspiration for Penny.
Oh, I had to like sit down and like look around. I think gotcha, Akata. That's the feeling I got when she was talking to us. Anna.
No. It's something much closer to my heart.
Oh, goodness. I feel like I should know this. How well do I know this? Do you know if I know this franchise really well?
I don't know that you know it. Her power is the same as Cece's power from Kogias.
Right. I should have thought of it. It's been such a long time though.
Yeah.
CC hasn't been in my brain for a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah. Cece looks at people and they just start loving
And they
her.
want to fuck?
No, not as such, but also
No,
yes.
Okay, so
Usually
if
that's
anyone
after the
wants a
pizza.
tangent, there's a book that I recently listened to that has a character with this that's like a demonic pact, or they make a deal with the devil that for a year, everyone they see, when they look at them, they see what they need from that person in that moment, whether it be like a friend, a lover, their dead son, their missing brother, like whoever they're like needing to like have a moment of reconciliation with, or have a moment with, whatever that role is, they're like immediately fond to him because he fills that role.
Oh, that's
And like it's a curse because he realized that there's no genuine connection ever.
yeah. Nobody's there for you, right?
Yeah. Yes, they're there for themselves because of
Yeah.
what you're reflecting for them.
Ugh.
Love that kind of thing. Love it.
Yeah, no, this one thing taken care of. About 3 new things.
They're side quests.
Time to find out if Mysel's getting abducted.
You stay silent over there too, Mr. fucking wall walker.
Like you're the worst of them, by the way.
What did I do?
You must start. No.
you
Let me
had
roast him,
no
Doctor. Let me roast him. Let me at him. You are speaking to a being that you have knowledge made Lilia in a fucking lab by torturing her mom, being like, I need your help. I don't know what your reasons are, mister, but that's crazy.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It was the most gratuitous. Like Noah talking to the guy was like,
Yeah, you like saw the lab I was made in.
it just did it. And I get it for character reasons, and I love it. It's great.
And now
I
I'm out
made
here
a very
looking for
conscious decision. It was a
It's
very
so good.
conscious
It's
decision.
like when I was at some point I was like, oh, the Wolfwood arc was like had a lot of personal connections to a lot of the characters, and this one in comparison doesn't have as many personal connections. But like you guys keep like tangling yourselves into things unprovoked, and I'm like, oh, now they do have a personal connection because it just stepped all over the mud.
Rolled in connections.
Great, it's great. It's great.
I have a prediction that I can tell everyone except for Nico. Because it's just a feeling I have.
What?
Oh, man, I can't wait for certain moments in the future.
Oh no, I'm gonna tell Doug because I feel like you understand this one the most.
The furious typing. You can just hear this man's fingers slamming the keyboard.
He's still typing.
He is still typing. He is still typing.
The fuck.
No, we'll have to wait. That part will have to wait. But I sincerely think something like that might happen. And knowing Nico, it's such a possibility.
It's a valid thought.
Such a possibility.
It's a valid thought. We love to see it. Oh,
I
I
feel like I
love
know what you're thinking.
He loves like a secular sort of like, I don't even want to. I hate this man.
but yeah. So next week we find out what's behind the door. We go after the lost child. We try to free the last two adventurers from the spell. Because there's just sort of, Valerie put them to sleep, but it's not like they're in coma. Eventually that shit is going to wear off.
Well, if my Zell is still around in the morning, he has the
Well, no promises there, right? No promises there.
Right? Oh my god.
But yeah. Lots of things to take care of, and then once all that is finished, you can also start thinking about what to do next, about all the stuff that's happening in the city. You have, it is the dawn of Monday, and you have like 3 or 4 more days until it's the full moon again.
You know what? Guys, that's why he gave us a door.
It's kind of impressive how that must be a high DC because I rolled above average and having a maxed out mod for what level we are.
You might have ended up passing if you weren't tired.
I was gonna offer to tell you the DC, but I'm not going to.
It was 20.
No.
I would have rolled a 20 if not for the exhaustion of going down.
It's fine. If it makes you feel better, it wouldn't have mattered.
To roll you feel better.
To roll a 20, it wouldn't have mattered.
Oh god. It makes you feel better is great.
Yeah.
Possible?
I'm just like the Hulk Henny attacker, you know?
Oh yeah, then there's like, Lily would never be able to pass that.
Yeah, some of us just want to pass. We just want to
Some
fucking
of us simply cannot.
hip hop scotched right into that door. We're like, yeah.
Yeah. And once you fail the saving throw, like resistance is futile, like.
Resistance is futile.
No, I fully expected that, but my Zell was kind of just like it was kind of like an internal argument with himself. Like, no, I don't want shortcuts. This is not me. This is not who I am. Yeah. But like his body just moving of its own accord.
I do like how it kind of reshaped itself to his. It's just like it's not a shortcut. Even the process is in here, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, you want a jungle full of challenges. Once you open the door, there's gonna be a jungle full of challenges. Like that's what you feel like in this moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. Everything that you want is here.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, I should also go to sleep.
Yeah.
But all right, we'll see for some of the crew. We'll see one another on Monday. And for the others, we'll pick this back up next Wednesday. Yeah. Good night, y'all. Bye-bye.
Shit. Gang. Bye-bye.